Okay, hello chat. Let's just get right into it. Hopefully it'll be fine. I haven't really leveled up many more. I do, however, now have the tickets, thanks to Walpurg, that I could upgrade a few. I'm not going to right now, but I could. I think all of these guys still have their E.G.Os. Set base. Should be fine. If anything, I mean, we don't really need to upgrade anyone until later. Here we are. Let's see how we do. So we want Don obviously first, and then we just go in reverse with who we actually care about. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. Wait a moment for... No point waiting. Right, let's just get started. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully it should be good. I need to actually remember how we play this. So we clash, easy attacks, send Gregor straight at the front lines. Mostly just, I think that's what we do. Hopeless versus... Struggling. Right, just attack them. Struggling, we don't care. Axe combo, and then on clashes. Great. Don wins the first clash, very nice. That fails, oh well. See if she wins this one. Oh, is Zichan actually winning a clash once? No, right? And dealing a grand total of 6 damage? So much. Truly. Hopefully this will be the day. Fingers crossed. Wow, so much damage. How much damage did we get? Wow, we dealt a grand total of 30 damage to that person. That is quite the achievement. Let's clash that with this. Struggling now. Good fun. After this, alright, you're doing this on the challenge on another end. I'm not even doing this on a different account, this is my main. What I essentially just do is just do it on my main. Because, I mean, I've already got Superbia here, I just don't use it. So I do know what happens after this. Pain and suffering is probably the answer I'd give to what happens after this. Hopeless, alright. Because yeah, I don't really get the point of using a separate account. It's not like I gain anything particularly. The base IDs were never leveled up very high because they're the base IDs. Why would I level them up? So yeah. But yes, I do know what happens after this. We go into the dungeon. Your main's only level 50. Yeah. Despite being a Limbus Company content creator, I really don't have a very... and that's almost reset worthy. I really don't have a very high level on my main. I've probably got around 100 hours total. I mean, I can check. 131 hours, yeah. So, not that much. Hitting Don, that's annoying. Right, yeah, Don really does not have very much SP right now, which is bad for us. Can we redirect that hit with Gregor? Lovely. Who's that hitting? Alright, we can redirect that with this. And that's hitting Zichan, so we don't care. You don't go to the mines. No. No point. Why would I go to the mines? I actually... Well, I torment myself enough with this. I don't see the need to torment myself further. Did that stagger Don? Or did that stagger... It did stagger Don. Right. Bad attempt. Okay, hold on. There is a little bit of a... are you allowed to different support passives? Nope. Base ID and E.G.O only. That's why all of these people are here. Prolonged suffering indeed, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not allowed different support passives, just like I'm not allowed different E.G.O. Because otherwise I could just do a Dawn solo. But, yeah, no, sadly not. Let's... Hold on, which one of these takes the most blunt damage? That is challenging, yep. Do I need to specify this in videos that I'm not allowed to use anything other than just the base IDs? I thought that covered it. Who's this attacking? Zichin, don't care, great. You do that. Great. Yeah, the entire idea is, could you do this without ever using the gacha mechanics? Or, well, not really. It's without ever using any mirror technology stuff. So, and also I'm not counting the base E.G.O as mirror technology because it would be horrible if I had to do this without E.G.O too. Hello, welcome to the stream. You've never watched me before? Oh, well, welcome. Thought I was someone else. Oh, well, fair enough. Yeah, well, welcome. Dawn solo even be possible? I have seen base Dawn solos be done before, yeah. I've never watched one, but I know they're possible. I've seen people... They were done like a few days after the release of the Canto. You just came, what did you miss? Nothing really. There was a dead attempt that lasted like a minute or two, but other than that... Let's see. Okay, people have been telling me to clash this, but I don't really want to. All it does is lose Blooming Thorn, which isn't an issue because I don't hit her. It's not something I do. Like if I was going to attack her, yeah, sure, great idea, but I'm not going to. Who does this person want to attack? Oh, Zichin. Okay. Great, well. That, I suppose. It's a bit Greek gods be punishing people with, yeah, fair enough. You can absolutely just need an evade skill. Yeah, evade skills are stupidly good for this. I should really be chucking more people under the bus, because that is the general strategy I have for this Dawn solo, in extreme inverted commas. Is basically, nobody else here but Dawn matters. The idea is solely to, yeah. Most people cheated the coin flips. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that are statistically possible, but, because we can get a Dawn thing started. The problem is that we don't have enough E.G.O resources to use La Sangre de Sancho before she uses, the Parade Goes Forever, or whatever it is. Wait, no, here we are. Parade of Wonders. We don't have enough E.G.O resources before she uses Parade of Wonders, so we can't clash with it. Is this going to attack Dawn? No, okay, we don't care about them. This is the general thing we follow with everything. Is it going to hit Dawn? Yes or no? If so, we care. If not, we don't care. We can also... So these are the E.G.O resources we care about. Lust and Pride. So if they don't take up Lust and Pride, which this one doesn't, we can use it. So we can clash that, just to save some damage. Because we don't care about these sinners, but we don't want them to actively die. Like, we're not going to go out of our way to kill them. Basically. Let's take Gregor to do that. Other than Gregor. Purely because Gregor deals 0 damage and can't clash. Alright, actually kill them. Over there, great. Dominating takes really no damage. Perfect. We do want to get Sangre de Sancho online relatively soon, that way all the chip damage Dawn is taking from attacking people with thorns goes away, but other than that... We don't care about Cool Dante. I like to think it's a canonical strategy. I care about the sinners, I like their characters, it's just their lives have no purpose. They have no meaning. That would be a horrible thing to hear your manager say. I really don't care if you live or die. Okay, the healing is problematic. I need to remember not to allow them to get this one off because they heal a ton. Not helping my case. Fair. Fair enough. Okay, Don... Okay, can we actually... We can't use... The only E.G.O we can use is this, really. Huh. Okay, actually, we do this... Okay, I guess that. Isn't that hard considering we don't care about having Don not die? No. The reason we care about Don dying here is because this is supposed to be a Don solo. As soon as Don is gone, we suddenly care about having Don... well, no. Not having Don not die. We suddenly care about everyone else not dying. Which is the reason why I'm kind of glad that Walpurg has given me a ton of tickets, because we're going to need to level everyone else up. Because it's going to be really awful to try and do that without having max level sinners. Does Zichun die here? Close enough to dead. That's not... Zichun serves the same purpose as the rest of the sinners. She is purely here as a meat shield. Okay, next turn there'll be a mass attack used against us, which is fine. There we are. Oh, it's against Zichun. That's... is it hitting Don? It is... Hold on. Is that hitting Don? Oh, it's not hitting Don. We don't care. Wasn't there an announcement in the stream of the Discord? I haven't done that for the past few. I'll quickly ping everyone, one moment. What, did the upload bot not do something? Because the upload bot didn't do something, that's enough. Did the upload bot really not do something? Right, okay, hold on. One moment, let me just quickly grab a link to this. Okay, that... Why did that bold the link? Great. There we are. Okay, who's the best base sinner? Otis, in my opinion. The rest of the best way to fit is letting Don play the hero. It is really fitting, actually. Okay, we can use Sangre de Sancho right now, but there's an argument not to, considering it'll cause it to take some damage. Do we Chains of Others? No. No, we don't. I think we use Snag Harpoon again, because it doesn't use up any of the resources we care about. Never mind, we don't use Snag Harpoon. Oh, you're telling me the only person that can clash with this is Gregor. How much is, she's helping a decent amount. I would say it's better having her than not, but she's not really good. 120 rolls, no Walpurg. That's horrible. How is everybody's Walpurg going, actually? Let's do that. Yeah. Because other than the only strategy in normal gameplay, yeah, pretty much. Okay, nobody can clash with this, so it's really not worth us caring about it. We just stagger this person. Oh, everybody's going to be staggered this turn other than Don. That is unfortunate. Okay, Gregor can at least take that hit. But otherwise, everything is hitting here. Other than this, which we can use to clash that. How'd my pulls go? Well, I actually got Full Stop Heath and Magic Bullet Otis, as in the E.G.O, on quite literally the first 10 pull. Although, rather sadly, I am yet to get Honglu, which is upsetting, because I really do want to get everything. Also, yeah, there's a feeling Gregor, I'm not alive instantly. Yeah, basically. The reason you got Heath but no Honglu so far, yeah. It seems like most people have gotten one but not the other. 4 Heath plus 3 Honglus and 7 bullet. What? Both shouldn't, always don't care about Otis. Fair. So, yeah, the reason why we don't care about Don, not Don, Gregor, is to have his passive, right here. And it's also because he's level 20, because I don't want to level him up. So that's really the main reason I'm lazy. Why is Don only at... Huh. Why is Don at such a low SP? Okay, Crow's AP. No, Hong is sad because Heath gets a lot from hanging Hongwei. Yeah, fair. Oh, that's not good. Uh-oh. Can we... If this is in favor of winning, well... Oh, God. Can we at least do this? Neutral. That's not in my favor. Great, okay, we're taking the damage. That's fun. Everybody attack this person, though. The IDs. You don't want the IDs, really? I think they look really good. I'm not sure how actually good they are, but they look cool. And also I think that the retreat gimmick... why did I say it like that? The retreat gimmick is going to be a major thing. The fact that they're putting a major way for an ID to actually do something, as in reload behind retreating, feels to me as if they're going to put a lot more retreats on IDs. So it's got Heathcliff and the OTC going. The rest of the calls got trash. Yeah, fair. I'm currently holding out hope on Mirror Dungeon Lunacy and also Mission Lunacy, giving me enough to get Hongwei. They're both really good. The main problem for me with most new IDs is I don't have enough resources to try them out. So I'm just stuck never using them. Unless I want to do Mirror Dungeon normals with them. Which, there's only really so many Mirror Dungeon normals you can do before something gets boring. We don't care if that person hits Maso, so just do that. This hits Ishmael, we don't care. Great. 14, 22, 33! You only got Netsack. Oh, that's really rough. 30? He hits 33, really? Oh, I guess, did he need to pull out from battle after doing that, though? Because that's still insane. I guess... Okay, hold on. Time to become discount E.G.O again for a little bit. When your next, like, biggest opponent is Wild Hunt Heathcliff, the opportunity cost is not really in your favor. Does XP to level at least one ID? Yeah, does it? Oh, interesting. Heathcliff is just a boss killer. Ah, well, fair enough. Good E.G.O Magic Bulldoze. Yeah, I don't have the ID for Magic Bulldoze either, which is a shame because it looks like it really synergizes well with that. Okay, I'm gonna use a representation emitter here. Even though it uses up some of our pride resources, I think it's worth it to get everyone's SP back. Want is only good in certain scenarios. Upside 5 to the base IDs. It would be cool. It would be cool, actually, because they've all got mechanically interesting things about them that you just really can never use. They will definitely have strands to pull on, so to speak. Let's do this. Neutral. Struggling. Okay, never mind. Pulse Up Heath is good enough in comparison with Wild Hunt. Really? Because the thing about Wild Hunt is... he's... okay, so he's bad to start. Just putting him into a battle on his own isn't very good. But if he has a few turns to scale, especially in chain battles, he's insane. I would argue that... I know Ringsang is good, but I would argue a fully scaled Wild Hunt Heathcliff is better. Second bullet version of the E.G.O on a boss. Yeah, true, because it deals 0 damage to the person who does it. I mean, person who it hits. What on is overhyped still? No, I strongly disagree. Wild Hunt, even when you're not playing him correctly, can go to, like, the top of a damage. He doesn't deal a lot of damage to single people unless you get a lot of his skill 3 going, but his skill 2 wrecks people. Okay, this is the point where we use Sangre de Sancho to get some healing on Dom. Never mind, no we don't. I think we use it here, actually. And then we need somebody else to clash that. 22 consistent rolls are good, yes, but also Wild Hunt Heathcliff is best for mirror dungeons. No, I still strongly disagree. Wild Hunt Heathcliff, I will say, if Wild Hunt Heathcliff isn't that good for you, because I've had a lot of people tell me Wild Hunt Heathcliff isn't good, you're probably not using him right. And I will stick by that. Wild Hunt against a single target isn't good. Library Ruiner Challenge Run. Yes, after this one, actually. After this one, I'm thinking of doing a Library Ruiner Challenge Run, but I can't deal damage directly. And yes, that is as insane as it sounds. I am fully aware of how insane it sounds, and it's supposed to be that insane. Clash... Okay, never mind. We... take the stagger on that one. Wild Hunt against a single target, I will grant isn't the best idea. Wild Hunt, as soon as you implement anything into the battle that can be killed, he's the best. Just Hokma. No, because I'm going to be trying to beat as much of the game as possible. Which means we're going to need to be doing funny things with Burn and Bleed. How are you beating mass attacks then? With great difficulty. Or maybe not. Depends. If it makes the fight... If it's still possible to do a fight, then we do the fight. Okay, take that attack. Okay, great. Why don't you use defensive skills to cancel E.G.Os? What do you mean? Need a realization just be impossible. Maybe. And that's a reset. Unless Don doesn't die. Don dies. Hold on. Is Don still alive? Don is still alive. Okay, the question is how much bleed does she have, though? I mean, some fights might be impossible, but also some fights might not be impossible. And it's the interesting part. Okay, let's... Ooh, I did something weird then. Because the goal is as much as possible. So obviously I can't do the rats fight. That just goes without saying. But from then onwards, there's always a chance. Might not be a good chance, but still could be possible. She lives. She does. The run isn't... This attempt isn't over yet. Neutral versus... I think we take favored. Other would take 90 turns. Yeah. And... this fight will take me several hours to beat the winning run. So... time isn't really a concern for these challenges. Great. Okay. Now Dawn has Sangre de Sancho online. Which means she's going to start healing properly. How many times I low rolled? Yeah, that would be good. It was like, if I was paying attention, I'd do a, how many times Honglu hit the 5% chance counter. Is that... or how many times the 5% chance would be hit? Because it's the bane of my existence. I think it's the bane of anybody's existence who's played Limbus. But it's particularly horrible when you're playing with bad IDs. Run might end at E.G.O Philip from Unavoidable Burn. The run isn't... the run isn't, can I beat all of? I know I can't beat all of. It's how much can I? It's how much of Library of Ruiner can you beat without directly dealing damage. So if the fight is literally impossible, then we move on. But if it isn't, then we don't. If there's even the oh, we don't use that because we want Lust. If there's even the slimmest chance that we can do something. How many ounces got from pulling? I actually, in like, I don't know how many pulls I did. Probably 80. I've gotten 2 so far. I didn't get Netsack, but I got Philip's office and I got Molar office. I'm sure there's a ton of fights which will be horrible, but like I said before, it's a challenge run. What's the point of a challenge run where you know every fight is going to be easy? No point, really. One from 120 rolls. Ooh. Send this wave page that does. I'll see what I do when I get there. I haven't. I will say this actually. I haven't beaten Ruiner. I actually haven't beaten it normally. I got to Star of the City before I lost my copy. So Tom Scott. I don't actually know who that is. Okay, here we are. There's no 5%. Is that killed on? Alright. Is there a way to lower Dulciana's SP? Yeah, winning clashes, I think. I'm fairly certain winning clashes does it. Let me actually check. Hold on, how many pulls in am I? 80 pulls in. Yeah. 80 pulls in, 2 announcers, and then some other stuff. Yeah. Long off for vaping. Oh, okay. Yeah, oh, okay, I remember the one now. I remember the one. Yeah. Well, I'll take that compliment. Beat him around 14 times now. Oh, nice. It's a great game, I just don't have access to my copy. 99% crit for hitting all Wolfhug units in a single pull, yeah. I hit 2 out of 3. I'm not sure what the chances of hitting 3 out of 3 would be. Probably absurd. Let's just focus this one. Deal the most damage from that.
행동을 개시합니다.
Oh, Zuchin actually won a clash. That's nice. How are my pulls? Pretty good, pretty good. I'm in the middle of La Mancha land. Yes, yeah. I wonder if anybody's actually... Somebody's got to have made an edit of that, surely. It would surprise me if with all the Limbus Company memes there are, somebody hasn't made an edit of that. But yeah, my pulls of Swellplug were good. Yeah. Hopefully it's not over yet. I've still got Mirror Dungeon to do, but yeah, we'll see. Let's... this will not deal more damage. If we win the clash with that, we get attack power up, but eh. What's that? That's healing. Okay. Take the hit there. Be able to do damage to sides. Wouldn't be able to bleed. Burn. Stuff like that. Will burn ID get out in the next 3 months? No. I don't think so. Is there going to be another Walpurg in the next 3 months? Whoa, hold on. There's no way that hits max damage, but that is slightly bonkers. So I played Fortis, got to Rivo, and so stopped playing for a year. Fair. I personally, yeah, I just lost my copy. I would have beaten it if I still had access to it, but Walpurg event with base IDs when I could. I mean, it depends what you mean by doing the Walpurg event. How did you lose that? It depends what you mean by doing it, because if you mean beating it, I can do that. I can definitely survive 10 turns with the base IDs. The question is, can you kill them all with them? And no. I genuinely believe it's impossible. I can barely even do it with units that have AoE. I don't think you could do it with base IDs. How'd I lose the copy? What copy? How'd I lose... Oh, as in, of Library and Ruiner. I was sharing it with somebody when the device I was using on my laptop, basically, it didn't short circuit, but it just gave up. So I lost access to it. Killing at least 50 gear worshippers. I still don't think that's possible. You'd have to kill 5 a turn, which the base ID... Sorry, hold on. Which with the base ID is basically a no-go. It's the main thing I'm glad hasn't actually shown up in Limbus Company yet, because at the moment there's a hard DPS check that we can't really get past through just playing good, we're gone. Like, that is just game over. Do I actually want to... Yeah, no, I'll do that. More SP. Which Philip rematch is my favourite? I've only fought 2. So that should tell you it's not Crying Children. So, I really don't have anything inventive to share on that one, considering I haven't fought enough to tell. Isn't Durante allowed? Durante is allowed, but only the one we've unlocked. So we're not allowed to use Superbia. Ricardo's DPS check. Ricardo isn't a DPS check. Ricardo... all you have to do for Ricardo is, I mean, you probably haven't watched the video, but I quite literally just used base Ishmael to soak up all the damage, and then Musou, because Musou is an insane tank. Like, look at this, his passive, this. It's great. He takes almost no damage. It's actually insane.
개시합니다.
The closest to a DPS check there's been in Limbus Company so far is Ambling Pearl. And Ambling Pearl was actually the hardest part of Canto 5, which is very funny. That is the closest thing to a problematic hard DPS check. But Ricardo isn't a DPS
모든
check.
결과들은
Not a hard DPS check, at least. If there's ever a Ricardo that you need to kill, we're definitely in trouble. I haven't played with base roll and nuggets. Didn't know you could attribute pages. Oh, that's rough. There's actually somebody on the Discord right now, I think, who's doing green pages only, which sounds painful. I really don't know how you do that. Yeah, it's having like a big amount of turns. It's not a big amount of turns, it's 6. Which is 2 runs of no, it's technically 6 runs of coupons, because it's 1 coupons, 2 coupons, break, 1 coupons, 2 coupons, break. With Spice Bush, Candace having a DPS check. Spice Bush is a DPS check? I mean, as a solo, yeah, but not as a full team. Yeah, but surviving against Ricardo really isn't a big amount of turns. The reason it feels big is because, obviously you've got to survive my coupons. But when you just run it with Ishmael and some tank unit, it's perfectly fine. Where'd you join the Discord? Let me quickly grab a link to that. I keep unplugging my microphone. This is, yeah, let me grab a link to that. Here we are. There we are. Great, but yeah, if there's ever a fight like Ambling Pearl that has this much HP, we're gone. 600 coupons, given how they do a big amount of damage. Musou, when I did it, he only got staggered once. Which is saying something considering coupons itself raises the stagger bar by 30. It really doesn't do a big amount of damage. So, okay. Coupons is one of those attacks that does a big amount of damage if it hits a lot of people, but if it doesn't hit a lot of people, it does really nothing. Which is great. It's perfect. It's especially perfect for a challenge run where you can't really do anything other than tank damage. And it's the part of the game where I realized that base Musou, if he had a little bit more speed or had aggro, would actually be an amazing tank. He can't clash to save his life, but he's really, really good at just that. Join the server, welcome. Marketh hit, let's fill it with Wing Beat. Wing Beat has to be one of the best E.G.Os ever. Even in Ruiner, I don't have it on this Ishmael, because of course I don't. But it is just the pure dopamine of hitting that max roll. Scarecrow searching for wisdom is for the hardest fight. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Scarecrow searching for wisdom does seem like one of those that could be really hard if you don't either fight it really late and just melt. Here's the strongest thing in Wild Purges. This run through. I've heard good things about Honglu. I've definitely heard good things about Honglu. When has there ever been a bad Honglu? Ryoshi Canto. Canto. Oh yeah, please don't. I mean, we'll be fighting the Pinky. Do we actually? We don't know what the Pinky does, do we? I'm fairly certain we're fighting. That's the people she made enemies with, I think. The Pinky, mainly. She might have just offended everyone, really. Actually stuck with. my tips with all the things exclusive World Park, I'll cover that later then. The best tip I have for Scarecrow searching for wisdom is get to the highest point in that bracket and just melt. Basically, any build from the end of that area is going to be enough to melt Scarecrow searching from wisdom. Bang Hung Hong Lu. You raise a point, I forgot about him. There's no bad Hong Lu I can remember. Okay, so from all the things exclusive to Walpurg, okay. The best thing for somebody who needed it, I would have to give to Solomon Gregor. Or I should Roland. Maybe. That's a Raishu Roland ID when? But yeah, the best thing for somebody who needed it, Solemn Lament Gregor. Solemn Lament Gregor just needs all the help he can get, really. He's really not in a good place. So for people who needed it, definitely that. But otherwise, I would have to say, I personally really like Solemn Lament Yisang. Solemn Lament Yisang is amazing, in my personal opinion. My own personal, not biased at all opinion. Who's unopposed, really? Okay, okay, that works. But yeah, for somebody who needed it, definitely Solemn Lament Gregor. Solemn Lament Gregor is one of the... I do think it is one of the best E.G.Os in the game. If you use it properly, you deal stupid amounts. It is actually insane. Especially because then it buffs Gregor later, so then he deals a stupid amount of damage the turn after. Did we really get the order operations on that wrong? Whoops. Wait, did they heal to full? Did they heal? I genuinely think they healed to full. What? Strange. The boss was around and around we go, yeah. It really is. Really? Oh, okay. We evade then. Whilst we need to use this. Here we are. We need to do that, because otherwise we take too much damage. Okay. Do we care about her? Not really. Let's see if we can do that. Have you seen the other person that does base sinners fights this fight? No, I haven't. I try not to watch other people do the things I'm doing, purely because I like having all my strategies be my own. I think it makes for more interesting stuff, if everything is just my own innovations. Even if it makes things harder for myself. Please win that. Okay, great. That is true, a lot of the Ruin Anime fights are harder to do when you try and think, like, the mechanic that will slow you down versus just beat the hell out of them. But yeah, Solemn Lament Yisang is the one I run personally on my sinking team, so I can definitely advocate for him being the strongest thing. I'm trying to think of other... Okay, in terms of if you're a burn player, out of luck, you've got the entirety of Walpurg that you've got to wait for. Do you think should use a Ring ID or Solemn Lament? What team do you run? If you run a sinking team, Solemn Lament. If you don't run a sinking team, it depends. Do you value enemies not being able to clash with you, or do you value enemies not existing? Because if you value enemies not existing, I can definitely recommend using Ring Yisang. Because, I mean, it's not a surprise to anybody that his skill 2 reuse is insane. Whoops, I just realized I haven't been recording this entire time. That's... Uh-oh. We're going to be having yet odd quality in the future. Spice Push, there's no comparison, yeah. But yeah, definitely... Solemn Lament Yisang is incredible. He's just amazing. How many times has the song repeat already? The stream has been going on for roughly... Well, we started roughly 36 minutes ago. I think it's a 2-minute song, so... what would that be? 18 minutes? No, not 18 minutes, 18 times. And ran burn teams before Liu Ishmael. Ooh. But yeah, it is. If you're a burn player, first of all, I'm sorry for your loss. Second of all, probably Magic Bullet Otis. Magic Bullet Otis is one of those where if you set them up properly, they're incredible. At least from what I've seen. Of course, you have to play burn to do that, but other than that, that's fine. Yeah, okay, we do that instead. Right, beat the boss for real this time. Yep. We're going to get it this time. And it's going to be the run where I wasn't recording the start of it, because that's how these work. What was that? Oh, God. I mean, so far none of our sinners have died, which is... I mean, we don't really care, but... We also haven't had the strong mass attack yet, so... It's a little bit dependent. That's annoying, but oh well. I just realised that means she's going to take decent amounts of damage. That's first ID necessary, E.G.O not required. After that, Philip Claire. Oh. Isn't Claire really high roller? Get to ignore because they specialise in burn. He's one of those that... I don't think he's ignored, per se. It's just that Sinclair and Claire are both really good IDs too, and they're not burn. I don't run a burn team, because despite being a challenge runner, I'm not that much of a masochist, but still. Okay, we're going to do this to get Sangre de... We're not going to do that to get Sangre de Central online. Who's this targeting? Maso, really? I guess we do this. Struggling. No, we won't. Great to know. We're doing Snag Up here. Thoughts on the new E.G.O? Magic Bullet Otis? I like it. I do actually like it. I got started the game. What type of character should I focus on at the start? As in Limbus Company? I will say just when you start Limbus Company, just get a lot of strong characters. Sinclair is objectively worse than Philip Claire. The thing is, you don't have to think when you use Sinclair. You can just click win rate, compared to Philip Claire where you have to actually micro. But yeah, when you just start the game, use whatever you get. There is no really bad ID for the first few Cantos. That's what you can win this from, of course. But yeah, for the first few Cantos, there's no bad ID. After that, I would say after the fourth Canto, then you can start worrying about stuff. So, or Rupture. Rupture... Okay, Rupture is one of those statuses where it's terrible unless you've built it properly, and then it's incredible. And there's no real in-between point. It's yet again another one of those that you need a ton of prep work to make good. Burn is really good in MD. Burn is really good in MD. The problem is you need to have burn IDs, and to get burn IDs, you need to wait for Wallperk. Getting into burn, I think burn would have to be the status effect that I recommend least for getting into for a new player, because although it's simple, you need a ton of tickets to buy all the stuff you need for a burn team, which just isn't worth doing compared to getting started on something like sinking. And then I would say probably the second worst status to get for a new player, I would say, is Rupture. Wildpug go. I've only made 80 pulls so far because, yet again, I'm poor. But, I got, Heath and the E.G.O, so pretty good. Hello, it's going well. Decently well. Ignore the fact that so many people are staggered right now. It's fine, I promise. Hold on, that's everybody staggered, but... Oh. That's... Ooh, that's not good. Can we... Right. Looks like we're clashing this as to not take very much damage. Only favoured. Good. That's how I like this. There we are. Fine. Another strong Sinclair Rupture ID. Okay, the problem with Sinclair Rupture is the fact that nothing is stronger than Talisman Sinclair. Talisman Sinclair himself is the sole thing that makes Rupture work, really. Did I save up boxes? As many as I could. So I can shard some things, but the reason I didn't save up boxes is because, yet again, I only have 130 jinxed it. No, it's fine. I only have 131 hours in this game. Or, well, we're probably up to slightly higher than that now. But I really don't have very much in this game. I haven't been playing for very long. We got Dead Rabbit's boss, E.G.O, Family Butler. As in, like, that's all the IDs you've got. E.G.O. E.G.O's pretty good. Oh, E.G.O Family Butler? Like, for... Blade Lineage... Oh, is that... Huh? Is that, like, all of the IDs you've got? Could you put the names in them in between them, please? Because Dead Rabbit's boss is Maso. E.G.O Family Butler... this is a guessing game. Sinners can panic. Yes, if they don't have an E.G.O, they can't... If they don't have an E.G.O other than base, they can't corrode. Follow with Princess Rhodia, yeah. Talisman is bad. Bad game design. Yeah, I'd say so. Biggest hurdle to make Burn good. Give Burn some IDs that aren't locked behind Wallpug. Deviate Sinclair isn't bad. The problem with Deviate Sinclair is he's a sinking ID, and the problem with any sinking ID on Sinclair is the fact that Talisman Sinclair exists. Because it would be perfectly fine if Talisman Sinclair didn't exist, but Talisman Sinclair is the only thing that keeps Rupture teams up. So panicking is just him standing there. He does nothing differently. He's not panic at all. You just can't do anything. Or he's about to shoot an arrow, man. Either or. Oh, so would look at the sun, yeah. The biggest hurdle making Burn good is giving somebody a way to get into it that isn't waiting for Wallpug. 7-hole Burn IDs. I don't know how many of those are... And Claire's a bleed ID, as far as I remember. First E.G.O. Versus... I will say, yeah. So for... when you're starting Limbus Company, to go back to this, don't run any of the Blade lineages unless you have Kim Salt, as in Maso, Blade lineage mentor Maso. If you have them, run all the Blade lineage IDs you want, other than Otis. Otherwise, don't. Secondly, don't run any Sinclair... I don't have Sinclair to click on. Don't run any Sinclair ID other than, like, N-Corp, Sync Sinclair or Claire. Every other Sinclair is better off the field. Actually, base Sinclair's decent, but yeah. The worst thing you can possibly do is run Mariachi Sinclair. Or Zwei Sinclair. Don't run either of those. As long as you don't do that, no, as long as you do that, as in don't run them, you're perfectly fine. Kim Salt or Sync Salt? Sync Salt is better for newbies purely because he works on his own. Kim Salt, if you're going to Shard, one of the two, Shard Kim Salt. Which is Zwei Sinclair? The traditional. Old school Zwei Sinclair. New school Zwei Sinclair is fine. Run Mariachi Sinclair for support passive, yes. When I said don't run, I meant don't run actively. Don't put him on the field. We don't just take the hit for that. Yeah. Donclair and Magic Bulldoze, the only two Wildfire Burn IDs. Donclair... Oh, yeah, but they're the best two. They're really the best two Burn IDs. Like, I can't really think of other Burn IDs other than them. Particularly... Oh, didn't mean to put that. Emotional Support Mariachi, yeah. You just have the quirky white boy dancing on the sidelines, and that's instantly better for everybody, for some reason. And Corpse and Sinclair also panic around the corrode. So, the way panic works is, if you don't have any other E.G.O than the base, they will panic. If you have any E.G.O other than the base, they will not. The reason why people run N-Corp Sinclair and Phil Claire without E.G.O sometimes is so that... Oh, I really shouldn't have done that. Is so that they don't have to deal with corrosions. Burn Bleed just dies. No. If you've got any ego other than base, they distort. If you don't, they panic. And that's how that works. Okay, we don't care about that. That's going to kill 2 of our people, but we really don't care. Who is this attacking? 9. Okay, tell you what Maso's going to do. He's going to do that and he just pop. Who's this hitting? Ishmael. Okay, we actually care about Ishmael, so let's do that. And everyone else, damage to you. Right. Somehow Gregor is still alive, which is rather insane. Boatplay doesn't even deal with corrosion. Doesn't he, from memory, the longer he's in his ego state for, the more SP he loses. You get negative 45 SP and Corp Sinclair. No, you will get negative 45 SP Sinclair, but they'll panic instead. IDs panic if they don't have... IDs panic if they only have the base ego equipped. They corrode otherwise. You're at level 20, why not leave him on shelf and bring only 11 IDs? Because he gives us Gloom. And Gloom is important for Gregor first, and then also Maso? No, it's not. But some people use Gloom, and also it's used for egos. The reason why we bring every Sinner is solely because they give us ego resources, and we really don't care. Oh, we dropped the ego state when at or below 0 SP. Okay, only in Claire then. Again, Sinclair goes on the base, you don't want to... Yeah. Okay, Don clashes. Don doesn't clash that, we want Ishmael to clash that? Ishmael can take damage. She'll stagger, but that's fine. Hopeless, really? Wow, that is some disparity. I guess, it's to do with the max roll. Okay. 66 damage. We really don't care about you. And then 82 damage. Oh no, actually, save that for them then. You're just there to cover. There we are. Great. A lot of the things with corrosion is if you want to use a corrosion skill, you can just overclock the ego. And that does exactly the same thing. It costs double the resources and sanity, but you don't have to corrode. So it's a rather useful thing. Unless it costs, like, I don't know. Unless it costs enough to make you corrode from using it, which no ego does, from memory. The most would be using an overclocked Garden of Thorns, which, why? You would need so many ego resources, and that would drop you from negative 45 to... no, that would drop you from 45 to negative 15. So that is theoretically possible. Yeah, it is. Not double, 1.5. Oh, only 1.5. Alright. Yeah, so... Yeah, that's fine then. Do we want to... Gregor does this because he clashes once, then doesn't explode. Actually, no, we don't want Gregor to do that. We want somebody to actually win that clash. I don't think we have Don's passive up yet, so let's do that. We do that, take some damage, perfectly fine. Yeah, okay. Overclock Yearning Miracala. I actually haven't used that. I don't have the Battle Pass. It might be good. Probably is good, in all fairness. It's a 8 ego, but still. Okay. Get the damage. Not panic, made it, and Corpse Sinclair only panic erode at plus 45 SP. Did they? That would be busted. No ID works like that. The entire reason you don't run Corp Sinclair with any ego is so that he doesn't corrode. Pretty sure he does. What? Panic when you read? Hold on, I've got to check this. Corp Sinclair. Okay. One who shall grip Sinclair. He... There is no special things about him corroding at max SP. He still corrodes like everyone else. Oh. Yeah, and Claire corrodes, panics, depending on what you do. He still does it at negative. Oh, you expected it to work like that? That would make negative IDs busted. The entire point of negative IDs is that they're risky to run. If a negative ID could hit negative 45 and then just hits all of those back to back to back to back to, it'd be busted. You expected it to work like that. Oh, yeah, okay. That would still be very busted. But yeah, no, it's see, the thing is, if it was to work like that, why would it be a negative coin? What's the point of having a negative coin ID if it's just a positive coin ID but stronger? Please stop explaining basic game mechanics. People are asking questions. Did make a mod so he didn't corrode. Fair. 30 rolling S3. Yeah, could you imagine being able to spam self-destructive purge? That'd be insane. Like, that would actually just... The fact that people don't run N-Corp Sinclair... like, if that was the case, N-Corp Sinclair would be on every team. Because he'd just have a free E.G.O. Just forever. You can hit 100 damage with skill 3 without any buffs. Other than self-buffs, presumably you mean. Okay. Is this hitting Dawn? It's not hitting Dawn, so we don't care. Other than the fact... hold on. What does this use? Lust, no. Sloth and Wrath. Okay. We can clash it, like... We can't clash it, never mind. Because even you can't gain SP even for the clash wins and have to suffer the consequences. Yeah. But yeah, I think negative coin IDs are in the sort of... I think they're in a decent place, but they need more ways to drop HP. I mean, drop SP. Self-destructive Purge does less damage than Wild Hunt. I wasn't talking about Self-Destructive Purge like it's amazing. I was stating that if you could remain at negative 45 SP forever, it would be great. The reason why it wouldn't be so good on Wild Hunt Heathcliff is the fact that your skill 1 and skill 2 would hit nothing. Just stating your opinion. You expected that, yeah, okay. Have higher than 10... I mean, it's the case with all burn IDs. Not burn IDs, sorry. Caught on the conversation from earlier. It's that case with all negative coin IDs, otherwise they'd be really strong. Can anybody actually hit this? Okay, hold on. I don't want to have to use Branch of Knowledge, but I might have to. Other than if Snag Harpoon does something. Hopeless, never mind, okay. Dawn, can you stagger that person? This means there's only 2, the last one's from season. Okay, no, like, okay, yeah. Quite a lot of the reason why they're in a good place is just due to the fact that they don't exist, but still. Okay, we do that because Gregor just pops, and that's perfectly fine for us, and then we do this on this guy. Who's this? Okay. Dominating, perfectly fine. Who's that attacking? Sinclair, we don't care. How about? Sinclair's 8 rolling skill 1, which you're left with most of the time does barely anything. Yeah, fair. That's fair. I mean, yeah, negative coin IDs are hard to balance. I'll say. Because you need a way to not corrode, but you also need a way to get lower SP, which is hard to do mechanically. And also, you'd practically need to... Yeah. You'd need to make it a triple OID, which I don't think anybody wants a negative coin triple OID. On some less SP resets, yeah. Also the fact that in MD, basically every single E.G.O gift nowadays, like the special ones, instantly put you to 45 SP, which is amazing, but not if you're running a negative build. Who's this attacking? Everybody? Alright, who's gonna actually be able to clash this? It's like saying launch thinking was in a good spot because I had 3 IDs that could apply it. No, but the difference is, all the coins... all the IDs that do negative things, as in have negative mechanics, negative coin mechanics, are decent. All the negative coin IDs are decent. Now that's because there's only 3. But yeah, compared to launch ID syncing, and you're looking at one of the paragons of launch ID syncing. Sinking is not in a good place at launch. Struggling. I guess we have to take that, really. Which is really annoying. Does Dawn has to evade roll this. Yeah, okay. And then we... Heathcliff is dead. Oh, great. This is going to be a fun turn. Wasn't poise the worst at launch.
야, 저 새끼 좀 봐. 또 이상한 짓 하려고 하잖아. 일단 피해.
예술이 뭔지 보여주지.
Sorry, I keep unplugging my mic. I am truly a professional. Can you all hear me again? Oh. Okay. Let's see now. Yeah, I now know. I read chat. You can all hear me now. I think. Right. Great. Let me try not to do that. It's See, the problem with my mic is that it's... because I am truly a professional YouTuber, it's just a headset, and the cable is so warped. It's genuinely awful. How many times do you think I'll only roll heads on self-destructive purge? 50% of the time. Because whenever you want something to happen in the game, it will always happen. Whenever you don't want something to happen in the game, it will always happen. And that's just how it works. How we clash that. Let me also clash this and deal damage to this. Oh, 61 versus 57. Yeah, okay, great. Get Eradicate off the face of the earth in like 2 turns.
예술이 뭔지 보여주지.
So long as Don doesn't die, everything will be fine. Of course, that means Don needs to not die, but still. Uh-oh. Okay, we get Don back now. And we have Rhodey here, who's good. You don't want Wildplug. Ah, yes, of course. Reverse psychology works on the Limbus pulling mechanics. Can we... hopeless, really? I mean... this takes up some of our pride, which is annoying. I think it's better for us to use Don to do that, because that gets Don a heal in. Favored, okay. And then who's this hitting? Honglu. Do we want Honglu to stay around? He's really good, but also he's probably gonna die soon. We could just... I don't know. Okay, let's do that. And then that. Favored, favored, favored. Great. This should be good. And then ideally this kills. I mean, it should kill. They've got 2 weakness on them, which is 20% damage. No, 35 SP on a positive coin to do always tails. Yeah. It's... trust me, when you start playing challenge runs and then start hitting tails on 45 SP, it's awful. Okay, that's good. Now, I think Rhodia wins this clash, which is good because she deals an absolute metric ton of damage.
옛날에도 이럴
Oh.
때가 자주 있었지.
Great, okay. Who can deal with this?
줄랑말랑.
Nobody. It has to be Honglo.
도망가는 건 모양 빠지지 않냐?
This is the point where I'm happy I've got Gloom, because we can just use one on that. Great. And now we go 90%. Okay, great. Or actually, yeah, okay. We want to save that, actually. Yeah, we want to save all of this damage that we could deal. And then just do this. Great. Did I call Ryoshu Rodia? Sorry. Okay, Ryoshu. Ryoshu deals a metric ton of damage, not Rodia. Sorry. Let me not say the wrong name for an ID. Always good to get the name of people right. Same person anyway. I'm not sure how true that is, but... Wow, okay, I didn't expect that to deal that much damage. Anyway. EP damage time. Oh, I should have used this. Because the fragile would have been really useful. Oh well. Right. These IDs are actually pretty good for dealing damage. The thing that... Oh god, that's a lot of bleed damage. I love the Blooming Thorn. Such a cool status effect. Take a shot every time a tail split is done. Ooh. It's the idea behind stacking attacks on half-dead Blood Fiend. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Okay. See, now this is the concerning point of the fight, for me, personally. Because now's the fun game of trying not to die. Honestly, if we can keep these three alive... The problem is they're all going to bleed to death. Realistically. I clashed with those the wrong way around. Yeah, the problem is they're all going to bleed to death. If they didn't bleed to death, if I actually had a way of healing them, this would be perfectly fine. But sadly, they will probably all bleed to death. You don't think I'll win? Why thank you. How do you feel about the current attempt? This is fine. We want Don to survive. Like I do keep saying, the only person we care about is Don. Tragic cap at 10, which is 100% more damage. Yeah. But in health hauler. I wish. I wish I could. Okay. Do we use... I think we use this. I think it is genuinely worth doing that. What Amno fight do you think, Railway 5? Camellia. Or Carmelia? I don't know how to say it. How much fragile do you think she had by the end of the winning attempt? Miracular. That's the word. Yes. How much fragile do you think she would have had? 25? 25 maybe? 2 staggers, this is fine, yeah. Perfectly fine. Okay. This is the point where we use this. And then evade afterwards. So this on beckon the audience thither, hither, I don't know the word. And then... Hoopless and struggling, really? That's very unfortunate. And then evade that. Okay. Miracular, okay. Yes, that's the word, thank you. But yeah, other than that, not sure. Railway 2 had 4 Adnos. How many Adnos did the most recent Railway have? Had Electric Sheep, King and Binds. I can't remember if it had any more. Oh, and the Master thing. It's on special state passive. Definitely, definitely. It could be better. It could be that one that lets her heal, but it's decent enough.
기다려. 아직 안
Okay, great.
끝났어.
Miracle is definitely an Ayla for a Valve. I'm not sure if it's a Ayla for a Valve.
죽겠네. 뭐
It's called...
시계 대가리도 있으니까
It's
겁먹지 말고 일단
no,
물어보자.
it's probably just a spelling mistake. You know Project Moon. It probably is just a spelling mistake. 7, 43. This clashes this with this because we've got resources to spare. Right. There we are. Oh, we need to clash that. Can we clash up this? Favored. It's favored regardless. What that? Dominating. Okay, we just do that. Less damage to that guy, but all in all, probably better. Can Dulciana hit herself? I don't think she can. I don't know any moves she has that do heal her, but I hope not. Okay, here we are. Both the other anagrams of... Oh, it's just different spellings of the anagram. Okay, that makes sense. Lovely. Season MD feels like a soccer. Yeah, I really don't like this current season's MD, but yeah, not sure. Dulciana heals. I don't think she does. I don't know any passives she would have that do heal. The one massive problem she does have is the fact that she's got enough bleed to make most of the damage we deal negative, which is really annoying. I think the clash. This staggers. That deals with that. Also staggers. And then we can prioritize dealing damage to her. How much pride does this use up? Okay, we generate as much pride as we use up there. How much loss? That uses enough to make that worth it. Great. Dominating, 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 dominating. Lovely.
예술이 뭔지 보여주지.
Please tell me we don't lose that. Okay, great. I was going to say, a 5% chance there would be so horrible. Okay, great. Down. We get heals from this, although we take a little bit of bleed damage. Should be fine. Any times when you need to use Don's skill too. I don't know of any timing right now, but there probably will be timing. Rank would I give the Cantos from a story standpoint? Wait, is that going to stagger her? Why did it not use her E.G.O? Huh? Anyway, story-wise, Canto 6, Canto 7, Canto 4 are probably my top 3, in order from first to third. That's annoying, but not really a problem. Why are those hitting? Ah, because they're staggered. Okay. I think I need to just clash with these, which is really annoying for me. Especially because we're going to be taking a little bit of damage from that, but oh well, nothing I can really do about that. Actually, hold on. Who are these attacking? So we only need to clash with this one, which we can do with an E.G.O to save ourselves a little bit of issue, and then clash this one. And then deal damage to that. Yeah, okay. Any point in running Magic Bullet Otis without a burn team? I don't think so, but... Is it time before the finale? I don't actually know when the finale is. If Mirror Dungeon 6 removes chain battles, they definitely won't remove chain battles. They've put too much effort into chain battles now for them to remove it, I think. There we are. Lovely. But yeah, Magic Bullet Otis is good with... do you mean the... Oh, the E.G.O? No, the E.G.O's very good if you want to deal a lot of damage to a lot of people. Like, she's obviously not as good as if you did run her with Magic Bullet, but she's pretty good by herself. Okay, right. Dulciana doesn't hit her allies when they're staggered, yep. That... Okay. Are we out of pride already? That is unfortunate. We take a little bit of damage from that, but it's fine. No. Please no. Okay, that's fine. But had less hype than last season? I don't know. This season still had a decent amount of hype. Like, I wasn't around for the launch of Canto 6, but I think it was still pretty hyped up. I mean, I was around for Canto 7, but I feel like they're about the same. Opinion on the Church of Gears fight. Oh god, we're about to take a ton of damage from this. It's actually worth doing this here. Canto was fun with your own Blood Fiends. I imagine that would be the case. The problem is if you beat it at launch, you don't have those. Big fan of the finale. I think the final dungeon, the fact that there were 2 E.G.O gifts in it that actively made your time worse wasn't good, but the very end was good. If it wasn't for the fact that you can just pick up a gift which makes your life hell for the rest of the dungeon, then it would have been very good. But still. Okay, now we start healing from things, which is nice. The bleed damage, yeah. It's, would know since the start of the game 2 months ago, yeah. Okay. Kurakathi season felt like a whole different beast. Oh, wow. Yeah, as I said, I really wouldn't know. Okay, can we start, clash that. Deal damage here. Here is the point where we are hoping the Don Solo works. Which gift? Day Pass and the Whip. The emo bars are actually good, but the Day Pass gives you ticking bleed, and so does the Whip. Which makes both of them awful. Especially if you don't have Blood Fiends. If you have Blood Fiends, they're perfectly fine. The problem is if you don't have Blood Fiends, they're awful. When did I join Limbus? So, I started playing Limbus at the very start, but because I got bored around Canto 4, I left until midway through Clear Cafe. Okay. Oh, great. And I think that's it. Great. Okay. I mean... Not sure. Let's see. Might not be over yet. Let us see. Well, I mean, if we lose this clash, we're just gone regardless. Okay, great. Actually, we take a little bit of unopposed damage, that's fine. And that's that. Hold on. Might not be over yet. Oh, no. Never mind. Hold on. We now take a stupid amount of bleed damage, but it might not be over yet. Okay. 18 times 7 is... Is 18 times 7 enough that we don't die? Like, what's that, roughly? We can't use this, because if we could, then we could heal and we'd be fine. Hold on. 18 times 7 is 126. Ah. This is a Blood Fiend. Do any of these inflict bleed? These inflict bleed. I think we're dead here. Which is upsetting, because it was a good run, but still.
출진이다.
28! Yeah, no, there was no way. Why am I dueling solo? Base IDs only. It's an awful status. I don't like it. I strongly dislike it as a status. How much HP? We got it at half HP. Which... we need to stockpile more pride, that way we can always clash those attacks. If you want that unbreakable coin, you will not get hit by bleed count. Yeah, but Dulciano... dodging doesn't trigger bleed, yeah, but it doesn't, make it go down. And there was no way we could really do anything else. Because we can't dodge higher than that. Right. Well, yeah, no, Blooming Thorn is not a fun status. It's just, it's okay, well, we may as well get started. Blooming Thorn is, yeah, not fun. It's not a, because the thing is, now, Blooming Thorn is fine, because you can clash this. It's moderately fine. As soon as it becomes Bloodwoven or Blood Molded, it's awful. It's awful. It's genuinely, it's the worst thing ever, because it doesn't get removed, and it buffs her. It's awful. Genuinely, yeah. This is also not good, but... in all fairness, we got it to, like, here, roughly. If we could have killed the other person, we could have avoided it. We also need to make sure... because, yeah. Tried to dodge all attacks with Dawn. I don't think we can roll high enough, sadly. 100% pride's hitting pride skills. I think in the future, it'll be worth it just to not use pride egos, because I was using pride egos there when I really shouldn't have been. So if I just save them up so we can use them later, because if we could have healed that, then, yeah. Attacks on bulky inflict it. Which is that? Not sure. Dodge everything with bleed when you just get destroyed when you attack, yeah. This might actually be impossible. I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's impossible. Maybe. Let me just check. I mean, I'm just quickly checking Chef Gregor. Chef Gregor does nothing differently than what we've already got. So, why is Gregor level 20? Gregor is level 20 because he's here to die. It's like possible that even a small mistake is downright deadly. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to call the challenge here. I mean, I don't have to call the challenge here. If I... okay. I'm gonna put a question to you, chat. Would you prefer to see me put this fight on pause and go back to it later, and we go do the dungeon? Because I think we can... I'm not sure. I think we can beat Dulciana, but making a single mistake is gone. Thorns doesn't give count, I don't believe. It just gives... oh, no, it does give count, never mind. It's possible you need a strat to keep bleed down. The strat to keep bleed down is just make sure we've got enough ego to clash. But yeah, I think... let's go to dungeon. This is possible. It's definitely possible. If it was impossible, I'd give up on it, but it's not impossible. Which is... it's the most infuriating part, is the fact that it's not impossible. That's what really kills me. Alright, let's level up everyone important to the point that we want them. Start by using all our smaller ones. Okay. Elsie ran into the dungeon, we're chasing her, yeah. If we kill her in the Blood Fiend trio, good enough. Because I know I can do it, but it would take hours. If we could just skip to... Okay, do a poll. Actually, yes. Whilst I upgrade everyone. There we are. How's it doable? How do you keep bleed from stacking from hitting Dolki? You don't get any count. If you don't get any count, it's fine. Because Blood Molded Thorn, I don't think... Because we got it at 50% HP. If we had been able to clash that attack or kill the other person beforehand, it would have been fine. But let's just quickly check, just to see actually if Bloodwoven... not Bloodwoven, Blood Molded. Oh! Oh no, that's skill effects. It's, on hit, inflict 2... Oh! It might actually be impossible. I think it is actually genuinely impossible. Which is... bad. How do you avoid it? I mean, you only suffer it 10 times per thing. But still. How do you beat Queen of Hatred? Full stop. Full stop office is great for beating Queen of Hatred. If you're struggling with the actual fight itself, because I was, personally, then you can use full stop office to just melt her. Potency to 28 potency in 3 hits. See, the reason with that is because we had count. If we just... Wait. Do we take more count from hitting her? Because if we take more count from hitting her, it's impossible. Because if we take count from hitting Dulciana, it's physically impossible. Maybe allow non-base support passives. Yeah, that would be a solution. Because, I mean, I know that's possible. But still. I'm so glad Wellpurg was here, because otherwise this would have taken several hours to grind all these. So you get counts, inflict bleed on being hit. Is it just inflict bleed? Because I mean, if it's just inflict bleed, then it's fine. It's still annoying, but it's doable. We just need to not get count. Great. Okay, the poll is 75 to 25. I think 76 to 24. Great. We'll end it there. So we're going to be doing the dungeon. Great. Okay, let me just quickly change some things. The title is going to be, wrong. Not wrong. I mean, the thumbnail's going to be wrong, but hey-ho. Flicks bleed potency up to a count of blood molded. Ooh, that's... She loses 1 stack upon doing it, yeah. Which is the reason why I didn't think it was totally impossible. If she didn't summon more ads, it would be easy, but she does summon more ads. What does Fang Honglu do, actually? Because I mean, I don't have him leveled up at all, but what does he do at max uptime? Just bleed, inflict 3 rupture on hit. That would be so nice. Hit her sparingly. The problem is we need to clash one of her attacks always. And it's... So, actually, hold on. What is his... I mean, actually, hold on. I can look this up. I don't know why I was checking him. Here we are. I'll look at the support pass for Fang Honglu. Okay, what is it? When ally with the highest sum of bleed, loses 2 bleed. I think, genuinely, if we ran that, we could do it. I think. Because then we could just evade if we had high bleed and we'd be fine. Yeah, Alright. We'll run Fang Hunt Honglu if we beat the dungeon. But for now, let's give an attempt. Let's give an attempt at the dungeon. Let's see. Oh, why am I being given the tutorial? I know what I'm doing. Uptie thread spin tier 4. Do you not understand? All of these are uptie and threads. Oh, other than... Oh, the E.G.Os aren't. Okay. Princess Rodeo has a useful passive. Hold on, what does Princess Rodeo have? Here's about 6 max. See, yeah, I think if we use support passives, it'd be fine. But another day.
명령에 따를게요.
Another day.
효율적이라면.
Let's just put some attempts into this, but I might, for next time, put a team together that will be able to beat. Well, may not be able to beat, but will at least be able to help. Why am I being given the tutorial? I've played it before. I have played this game before. That wasn't meant to be a reference. Whoops. Great, yeah. Any other good ideas to help with bleed? Anything to just keep bleed down. If we can keep bleed down, everything else is fine. Okay. Who do we want for attacking? We want... Okay, hold on. One moment. I just unplugged my microphone again. Alright. I am truly a professional. Anyway, yeah. Faust healing with a base kit would be amazing. Like, actually. I mean, we could also... If I really wanted to make things easy for myself, I could just use Fluid Sac, but still. Can't use Based On. We'll handle that when we get there. I think the Bleed Eaters are aside from Fang Hunt Honglu and Princess Rodeo. Yeah, if there are, that would be great to know. Otherwise, it might be useful to know... I mean, I don't actually have K-Corp Honglu, and he'd probably also be helpful to heal, but still. Let's go... We want our best damage dealers. These are our best damage dealers. And then we want people good at clashing, and then everyone else just goes in like that. You're gonna go check. If you could, that would be great. Okay. Massive spoilers for Canto 7. Why did I put 8 in the title? That's not correct. Let me fix that. There we are. We are no longer clickbaiting people. Great. Time to unplug the microphone counter. We're not going to be having one of those. It would be far too high. It wouldn't fit on the screen. Right, okay. It feels so nice to have my proper guys back again. Got to Canto 8 early, yeah. That's how KGH himself saw the suffering I've been through and decided to give me it early. Check pre-support passive. I mean, if you want to find out what it does and tell me, that would be great. You beat her. No, I didn't beat her. We're not doing that just yet. We'll do it later. What's this? Stone Fear 2, Hard Blood Arts, Whip. When I with the lowest HP percentage heals 3% HP on hit. That might be useful. I'm not sure if we really want Dom to be hit, but it might be useful. Actually, no. What's probably more useful is the healing. Why should Gregor die? Because his healing is very good. And we want his healing more than anything else, really. It feels so nice to finally be fighting things that don't just turn me into mush. Like, I cannot state enough. Lost the win, no, you trust me. Next time round, though, I think we might go with support passives from other IDs, and we'll probably have her. Because I genuinely think at this point it is possible, but I would go insane doing it. And the thing is, if it was at the start of the fight, if that really hard point was at the start of the fight, I'd be happy to do it. But the problem is that it's several hours in. So it's not a case of, okay, we just have to put a ton of attempts in. We have to spend hours. It's like Gregor's passive, but you have to get hit for it, which isn't really something we want to happen, because if we get hit, we're getting additional bleed count. What? Why is everybody suddenly deciding to hit? Huh? Okay. I suppose we can still have dominating and favorable clashes. Yeah, Abnos... Not Abnos. Particular really aren't very strong. Which I'm not complaining about. These ones are worse. I mean... Well, I said that, but apparently I was lying to you all. Great, okay. It is because there are a few base IDs which are really good. Otis, Ryoshu, and Honglu. Base Otis, Ryoshu, and Honglu are actually great. On hit means once you hit somebody. Oh, yeah. Okay, no, that would be far better then. If we run Priest Gregor, then Priest Gregor, Fang Hunt Honglu, Princess Rhodia. It does mean we can't run them as actual IDs though, which is a little bit worrying, but eh. Quite a bit of E.G.O resources to work with. Yeah, that's a good thing. The one major problem I can think of is the fact that we won't have any source of healing. At no point in this entire dungeon will we ever have access to an E.G.O that heals. So if we need to do any sort of sustaining whatsoever, we are out of luck. I'm gonna put all sinners roll tails or heads. Ooh, no. No, I don't think I will. How will I get 3 res? Is that 3 resonance? I mean, if it's 3 resonance, that doesn't matter because based on skill 1 is a lust skill. But let me see. Oh, it is lust resonance. Lust resonance isn't a problem. Don has a lot of lust skills. And with 6 slots, we're probably going to have at least 3, usually. 3 resonances, 3 res is 3 resonance. It's own for owned. I was just reading it wrong. It wasn't you, it was the fact that I am a massive Project Moon fan. Okay, favorite, dominating, great. Why is everybody hitting tails? I don't understand. Yeah, now we don't even have Dom for healing. Which is very fun. Unless I want to give myself a pass to use Zayn E.G.O? Zayn? E.G.O? Which I'm not going to do. Because I don't want to turn into Esku. More than I already have. What do I think the flat out worst idea is in all of Limbus Company? Old Sinclair. He clashes terribly, and I'm not even sure what purpose he's supposed to fulfill, but whatever purpose it is, he doesn't fulfill it. Yeah, Greg kills are limited to 1 person, which isn't very helpful for large groups. 5 per turn is okay, but not when you're having... 5 per turn on 1 person isn't. When you're probably taking more damage than that. What the... Okay. Is Ryoshu is one of the best base IDs. Damn, that's right. Yeah. Get a lot more with Sangra. Sangra gives you half of all the damage you deal, which is insane. It's like 50 at max, which is a ton. And I hate that on the base IDs that's considered a ton, but hey ho, this is the world we're living in. Yeah. Every challenge I do. I mean, the next one will probably be in Ruiner. I mean, okay, I'll put it up to vote after the next video. But, so it'll probably be Ruiner, but it could be LobCorp. Or people could decide to stick with Limbus for some reason. I'm not against doing Limbus again, but... what is Roche? No, the lost mate deals and takes plus 20% damage. We don't have Gloom. Oh, as in W Corp, or... which Roche is that? Good idea for a stream, thank you. It will be painful. Yeah. Still. Hopefully it'll be less painful than Belciana has been for the past several hours. Red Eyes. Okay, I'll check what Red Eyes' thing is. Did you get your hands on a Library of Ruiner? Not yet. I will get my hands on one soon. Let me just... okay, what is... when I lost HP essentially heals 3 HP. Oh, okay, that would... Ryoshu is better, I think, on our team. Okay, this is the one where we want the all-day pass, not the standard pass. This is terrible. Is it Envy Res? Oh, it's Envy Res. That's physically impossible for us to activate. Anyway, we purchased the all-day pass. Now, this is the point at which you can end your run in one go. Here. Oh yeah, skill 2 is Envy, but yeah, this is the way you end the dungeon. Don't click this. What does the standard pass do? It gives you bleed per turn. I think it's +3/+3, as in +3 potency, +3 count per turn. Now, could anybody tell me what these other do to? Because I'm actually not sure, because I picked this on my first run, it was horrible. So, what do these do? Let me check, actually. Dungeon. Let's check. Yeah, Self-Flagellant Whip is awful. Braid is pretty good in flick speed, but uses health. Okay, let me check. Let me check where... what dungeon it... what is the name of the dungeon? Let me... I have no idea how... where this is. Dimension Land... yeah, I have no idea. Center Pass gives you 3 count. Yeah, it's not good. It is just terrible, basically. Where... how do you check... I know you can check story and... hold on, what is this? Dream? Oh, here we are. Battle chapters. Part 3. Tale of a great fixer who once reached for the dream. Now, you go for floor 1. The first event. Fragrance of gifted and... okay. So, we want... okay. So yeah, just to read out... oh, sorry! I was completely wrong with 3 count, by the way. It's actually 4 bleed potency and 4 bleed count. But it's only the first time the start of an encounter. So it's still bad, but it's not awful. It's not going to kill you. But it is 4 bleed potency encounter at the start of an encounter, which is terrible. Self-Flagellant Whip is the worst. It's when one ally with the currently highest HP percentage using an attack skill gain 10 bleed, 3 offensive level, and 3 defense power up. Fundamental What's Life, welcome. Okay, hold on. When new enemies enter the battle, inflict 5 bleed and plus 3 bleed count against that enemy at combat start, is the parade. And then shooting is on kill with a skill damage, one ally with the least SP heals 8 SP. If an enemy with 10 plus sum of bleed, unique bleed, and rupture is defeated, the enemy who killed that enemy gets 2 offense level up. I think it's more worth it for... It's for every encounter. Oh yeah, that's awful. I think we're going to go with Mask of the Parade. Because we don't inflict bleed, really. It's good if you have It's good if you have Blood Fiends. We don't have those. We don't have those. Okay, I think we're going to watch the parade here. Because we don't really care about SP on kill, because... I say that. I don't think we really care about that. Compared with... Parade Mask giving us free damage on people. I think we're going to take that, because this will make Blood Fiends kill themselves. That's perfectly fine. You encounter with a lot of resources for your own base ID, to be fair. Okay. Here's the point where... What is... Let's check. So. If we pass the check, we get the Devouring Cube, which is when an ally dies, gain 1 ego resource for each of that ally's skill 1, 2, and 3, and 1 random ego resource. And if the enemy kills, gain 1 random ego resource. But if we fail... Oh, we can just keep rolling it. And if we destroy it, we do get... How bad is the Pentaculum Ire? Doesn't do the lot. Imagine the parade as a fight. That would be awful. Is the Pentacular Ire that bad? Up to 5 make Donna Blood Fiend, that would be very funny. Because if it's not too... If it's bad, we'll do this one. If it's not too bad, we'll do this one. Alright, we'll do one gamble. One gamble. You get nothing. Okay. Okay, no, this... We gamble. We just keep gambling. No. Yay, look at that! We won, chat! Yeah, the Endless Hunger Ego gift. I don't think I really want to. Why did I close that window, actually?
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 한 주먹거리도 안 되는 놈들이니까.
That was a great fix. So once reached for the dream, and now we just go floor 1 down to Coos Professional Gambler. Yep. Luck correlates to skill. Anyway, yeah. Typical gacha fan. I don't know why, but YouTubers suddenly started feeding me a ton of gacha ads. It's always guaranteed after 3, huh? Let's go gambling. Oh, dang it. Oh, dang. I can't make chinking noises. Clinking noises. Let's not say a slur. In Honglu's Canto, of all things too. Can't believe I do this. Right, okay. Here we go. Got after 3. It might be forced after 3, which is honestly fair. I do like that as a system. Even the in-event mechanics have pity. Would you look at that? Right, okay. Think of the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass is definitely worth it. The only reason I haven't got it is because I don't have money. Really. I don't have money I can spend on it. As soon as I can get YouTube working and actually making money, I'll probably buy it. I'll also buy an actual microphone so I don't unplug it again. Finally, no more talking to myself. The worst time I think that's happened was I had recorded an entire 40-minute voiceover, and then I figured out at the end of it that my microphone had unplugged before I started. So I'd just been talking to myself the entire time, which was not fun. Not fun at all. Had to re-record the entire thing. Alright, can we just win rate this? Let's not do that, actually. Dominating right here. Target fixed. Okay. That's not worth it. We just take the neutral, and if we fail, problem... Not really. No real problem there. I just realized my Discord pings are on. That's... Sorry about that. Right. Forget the number of the Canto is the same, yeah. Roji's Canto is, it's an interesting principle of design. I'm not sure if they were going for the, attempting to make the most uninteresting Canto ever, but, I don't know. They did a pretty good job of it. Did that really stagger? Huh. Okay, this is... Sadly, this is portents of what's to come, I think, with bosses. Purely the fact that they have a ton of health. I'm genuinely not sure if we can do this. Is there a mechanic where they start to die, or... Because, I'm really not sure. Wait, where's a sad embrace? Just with expression of love last time, huh. Okay. One from the translator, that about pass you get... Yeah. Yeah, Roji's Canto really developed everyone other than Roja. Really. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. Right. This one doesn't... True. At least it doesn't kill me actively when I attack it. I do think Roja's problem is the fact that she's a character that isn't developing. And that's her story. Which is perfectly fine if she's one of very few characters, but because she's the only... No, but because she's one of 12, she's not actually being shown. So you can't really show the fact that she's not developing, she's just not developing. Which isn't good. Do I... on hit fully heals the target's SP. Let's... deal... Where am I from? Britain. Australian accent. It's a long story, really. Oh, was that... You were asking somebody else. Whoops. Is it Rhodia or... so, Rodion asks you to call her Rhodia in her introduction. Which is the reason why some people do, some people don't. But yeah, the problem is, with her and Gregor, both of their characters are a lot to do with not developing, which is a problem in a story with 12 people, because rather than actively not developing, they look like they're... Why am I being given the tutorial? I don't need it. It just looks like they're not here. Which isn't very good. I don't think I need to tell you it's not very good for story, but... Oh, nice. Good to find an away from. Yeah. It is... Have I really not... I've mentioned it probably a little bit before, but not sure. Also, Honglu hugging a massive teddy bear with nails is a very Honglu thing. But yeah, tutorial on Canto 7, it's incredible. Part of it's early on, so we need to learn everyone's deal. Yeah, I really feel like they should have just made the prelude longer rather than trying to introduce characters during it, but still. Oh, Roja's simplification of it. Ah, cool. Okay. Dominating, dominating, dominating. Favored, dominating. Lovely. That -1 clash power means they're probably not going to be an issue for us unless we just slowly die to the unbreakable coins. Oh yeah, Don Quixote had so much foreshadowing for being a blood fiend, it's actually insane. And I mean, her entire character... See, okay, the thing is, the reason why nobody mentioned that not being honest thing is because, probably, at least for me, Don Quixote in the books isn't actually Don Quixote. He's called, sorry, Alonso something. So most people, when they see that, think, oh, that's interesting, it's bringing up the fact that she's obviously Alonso. People didn't think, oh, she's a blood fiend. Although, people did. There are people that did think that. That's me overgeneralizing there when I say people didn't think that, because I mean, I think there's an entire Reddit post which goes over every single bit of foreshadowing, which is quite interesting to see. But, yeah. I am interested to see... The character I'm probably most interested to see the development of is Faust. I used to really not like Faust, and then Murder on the Warp Express rolled around, and now she's my third favorite character. Rodion does have TKT. See, yeah, Rodia's development happens... See, the thing is, though, most of Rodia's development comes from an intervello. Like, that's worrying. Yeah, there were probably a lot of reasons why it was ignored. Beyond just... yeah. It might also be the fact that it's Canto 2, where it's brought up, and I don't think very many people paid attention to Canto 2. It would be great if Faust is banned from the Discord server. Her Discord server, that is. The Gesellschaft is not good for her. She needs to touch grass. Faust has not touched grass in a very long time. The thing I really like about whatchamacallit, about Faust's whole thing is the fact that I really like the Faust and E.G.O ship. I think it's so sweet. And I'm not sure how many people are with me on that one, but I just really like it. It's one of the only wholesome things we have in this entire game. But yeah, I am interested to see what's happening with Otis. Because she's having some pretty interesting things set up too. Great. Okay, damage. I would like to bring up the fact, by the way, that we've been here for... I don't know, how many minutes? I don't know when we began this fight. We began this fight... roughly 8 minutes ago. And this thing still isn't dead. Faust not being omniscient was a pretty nice change. The thing I like with Faust... I like the way the character changed between Faust being omniscient and the fact that she actually is happy by small things and enjoys taking risks and all of that. I really like it. I really like the change to the character, and I think I wouldn't want her to instantly change to that, but I like it that it's there as something that will be explored in the future. I think I really enjoyed Yi-Sang's Canto 2. I actually, for everything that happened, like, sure, I spent several hours fighting it the first time round, but it actually told a full story, versus Canto 2. That's unfair to compare later Canto to Canto 2, but even compared to, like, I don't know, Canto 5's final dungeon, I like the story that Yi-Sang's imparted. I think it might have helped the fact that Yi-Sang is my favourite sinner. Did I beat Dulciana? No, sadly not. Expecting a Canto to be Gesellschaftless. I think she won't get free of the Gesellschaft that quickly. Because it's a major plot point for her. She's definitely not just going to drop it that easily. Yeah, it is funny that Don calls everyone young. That was a nice touch in the whatchamacallit, in the Walpurgis snack story. It is sweet, though, that she's still obsessed over fixes. Like, that hasn't gone. Very nice. Because she still is... She's a mix now. She's Don... She's the old Don and the young Don. We're just going to take that. Yi-sang was so happy in Murder on the Warp Express. It was very sweet. Very cute. Yi-sang finally being happy. Is it not just a part of is it Korean etiquette? Is it Korean etiquette for old people to call younger people young? Not sure. That was the wrong move there. Oops. I mean, he's gonna die here anyway, but... Because, I mean, she's going out of her way specifically to call everyone else young, because she doesn't call Faust young, and then corrects herself to call herself young. Didn't Don also call everyone young? I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. Oh. I mean, if she did, then yeah, it's not really something notable, but the tutorial is so funny, despite the fact that I've beaten all of this before. It's... Yeah. Right. Special words for younger and old. Oh, so it's a translation thing. Maybe? Not sure. Oh, yeah, so it must be a translation thing that the culture doesn't come across either. Okay, this is an important discussion. Do we want the Hemo bars? 1 attack power up for 3 turns is pretty good. But I'm not sure if it's worth the 5 SP. For instance, a career boo. Ah, fair enough. But yeah. Do we eat the Hemo bar? I don't think we... I don't think we do. Yeah, no, I don't think we do. I don't think it's worth it. Nothing happened. Right. Someone goes back to Serious Sancho. That would be cool. Okay, what do we want to do here? Do any of these do anything other than just giving resources? No. We really don't care about that much here. 10 minutes to kill the teddy bear. Yeah, we are going to have a fun time. Let's get this. It's 5 SP, not 15, yeah. It might be 15 if you're a Blood Fiend. No, it's only 10 SP if you're a Blood Fiend. But it's minus 5 SP the first time. Who will make a path through? Go, Myotis. Okay. Okay, oh no, we failed the check. So sad. Is it minus 15? So is it... No, if said I'm looking at the E.G.O gift right now. First turn start of an encounter, every identity on the field loses 5 SP and gains 1 attack power up for 3 turns. If the said identity is a Blood Fiend, lose 10 SP, gain 2 attack power up for 3 turns, and inflict +1 more bleed potency and count with its skills and coin effects. Yippee. Reading comprehension. You love to see it. Anyway, yes, this is Rose Hunter. Which is terrifying me considering the bear took us 10 minutes. Right, go Myotis. There we are.
훌륭한 작전 덕분에 승리했을 뿐입니다.
표정이라면 따르겠습니다.
This is going to be fun. Clash Wind the Pride skill, we heal 5 SP. That's going to be very useful though. Rose Hunter. EP. So special interaction from the characters are blood fiends in particular. Yeah, there is. Right. What are we gonna do here? Oh wow, this is great. Okay.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
Well, you're about to find out why people struggle with Rose Hunter. Oh, really? That's annoying. Is that gonna capture Ryosha there? I hope it doesn't. Wow, that's fun.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다
Yeah, okay, that
해보라고.
did.
저보다 한 주먹거리도
Okay.
안 되는 놈들이니까.
I think Ryosha kills it there. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Oh, wow, that's... Oh, God. Okay, the only thing going for us is the fact that we have E.G.O. I don't think we want to use Snag Harpoon, because Snag Harpoon means we have to keep using Snag Harpoon to avoid the fact that we won't be favourable for most of this fight. We're not using Land of Illusion. Block that.
해보겠습니다. 아름답지.
예사롭지가 않은데?
I think the biggest problem we're going to suffer is the fact that we don't really have any good ways to evade. We just need to grind them down, really. We get a heal after this, so provided we can keep most of our E.G.O resources, we're fine. So we just can't spam, really. Provided we don't spam, we're alright. I mean, it's worrying that it takes my DPS team, by the way, 10 minutes to kill a bear. And the bear wasn't actually posing any threat to us, so Rose Hunter is going to be a little bit more dangerous.
옛날에 조직에서 싸울 때도 두뇌 파로 적을 다 밀어버리는 놈이 있었지.
훌륭한 작전 덕분에 승리했을
아이씨,
뿐입니다.
좀 피하면서 하라니까.
Blood Fiend Trio even doable.
저
I have no
정신
idea.
차릴 때까지 앞에서 시선 좀 끌어줘야겠어.
Wow, that's fun to see on someone else. At least we have E.G.O resources. Claire does that. Favorited, favorited neutral, which is Honglu. So yeah, okay. We will deal with that when we come to it, because I've gotten to the point where I'm tired of saying it. That's not a comment against you, it's just in general. I'm just going to save it for when we actually get to the fight. If we get to the fight.
여행엔 목적이 있었지.
One clash and a skill 4, you're cooked. Yeah, definitely. Oh, wait, no. Staggering Sinclair's bad. Oh, that's unfortunate. Is Camille dead yet? Not even close.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고.
I think what we do here is, as much as I hate Land of Illusion, I think we Land of Illusion this. Is there anything we can clash with this? No. It's concerning. But still. Oh wow, this is... So we're fighting a downhill battle.
먼저 간다.
You get resurrect on white points here. I hope you do. Potentially rolling the skill through with no... No, it has conditionals.
여행은
If you're talking about Honglu's
목적이
skill 2 here.
있었지.
Honglu's skill 2 has the conditional that he has to have not taken damage last turn. Which is bad for a Canto with unavoidable coins. 15-10! Right. Okay, Sinclair is dead.
모두가 너를 잊어도 반드시 되찾을 거.
This is precisely why the fight is hard, by the way, because, oh god. I think she's dead there. Also, it can resurrect. Okay, that's... I mean, I'm not sure if that helps me too much,
이런
but
건 몽둥이가 약이지. 그릇 두드려 패.
it's better than nothing. I think I just put Sinclair to the slaughter here. Sinclair just dies. Good riddance, not good riddance, because that's upsetting because he's one of my best damage characters, but we make do. Flash that, dominating fave, great.
예술이 뭔지 보여주지.
Right, Heathcliff skill 3. Heathcliff skill 3 is that, well, it's technically and conditionally has to hit heads on the first coin. Which means that 5% chances and low SP can screw you, but yeah, no, it's fairly strong. Please don't. Oh. One.
우와. 저건 진짜 아프겠는데. 야, 괜찮냐?
I did not realize it was AoE.
이 오티스
Right.
참전합니다.
가서
I
할수
didn't
있는
kill.
건다
I haven't killed
해보라고.
Dulciani yet. We
저보다
gave up.
주먹거리도 안 되는 놈들이니까.
명령대로 하겠습니다.
Yeah, it's please. Yeah, we didn't give up.
흥미로운 일이 벌어지면 좋겠어요.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고.
Hold on.
저보다 한 주먹거리도 안 되는 놈들이니까.
So that the pride resources went up from the event, which makes sense.
이게
So they were at 37 before.
뭐야?
Oh no, they stay at what they are.
파이팅이다.
I really think every boss is here to make me suffer at this
예술이
point.
뭔지 보여주지.
That's great, at least we don't take more damage from that. All my base Ds are at up to 4, yeah. Potential boss I didn't expect to give me trouble. No, I expected this to give me trouble. I just didn't expect it to give me this much trouble.
파이팅이다.
I probably should have expected it to give me trouble, but I didn't, and now I'm going to be paying the price. Can I actually clash any of these with this? Oh, well. Screw it. Ego spam, because I can't be... Even if we can't even do it with the ego spam, which I don't want to be doing ego spam because it'll screw us over later, then I don't think we can do it with anything.
몽둥이가 약이지. 그대로 두드려 패.
가라앉는군요.
여행엔 목적이 있었지.
방금 좀 똑똑했다. 옛날에 조직에서 싸울 때도 두뇌 파로 적을 다 밀어버리는 놈이 있었지.
Wow, that'll help.
어떻게
하나
해내긴
눕혔네.
했네요.
이렇게 눕혀가다 보면 어느새 끝나는 게 싸우는 거지.
How's the suffering? Awful. Unkiated laugh, yeah. You know what? Otis, not Otis, Ishmael, take that. -20, he's never going to be able to win a clash again. Unless we
해보기는
use E.G.O.
할게요. 안 되면 어쩔 수 없지만요.
Anyway, yeah, the suffering's going horribly. Supposed to with Faust. The reason we're not going to be spamming with Faust is because Faust isn't on the board yet. We probably will start spamming that later, but... Did I not flash that? I didn't know that was a mass attack. Sorry for not talking. I just feel like I'm going a little bit
흥미로운 일이
insane.
벌어지면 좋겠어요.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 저거 다 한 주먹거리도 안 되는 놈들이니까.
Stacy doesn't give more. I don't think so. First E.G.O will give us
이게
more
끌 거
SP,
없어.
but not herself.
바로 간다.
But from winning the clash, no, I don't believe it does.
뭐야 그 파이팅이다.
Wait, no. We want Ishmael to take that, and then everyone else goes here. Here. Great.
행동을 개시합니다.
Pain and suffering. Yep, that's the modus operandi today. By doing pain and suffering.
모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
I mean, if it's too awful, I mean, I don't know.
옛날에 조직에서 싸울 때도
I really don't
두뇌
have.
파로 적을 다 밀어버리는
Yeah,
놈이 있었지.
Sorry for not commentating over this. This might be one of those things that I just have to have going in the background whilst I do other things so I don't go insane.
파이팅이다.
Because this is not going to be a fun and enjoyable experience. that, yeah. How could you defend that? Oh, okay.
좋은 전략이네요.
What, question mark?
가보죠.
Mental breakdown. I didn't actually get past Dulciano. Yeah. We're here because we couldn't get past her.
모든 결과들은
Or at least we could get past her, but
예사롭지가 않은데.
it would have taken too much.
작살을 내놨어.
Wow, you couldn't even hit. Yeah, we sadly haven't killed Dulciano yet.
훌륭한 작전 덕분에
하나
승리했을
눕혔네.
We just skipped past that
이렇게
one.
눕혀가다 보면 어느새 끝나는 게 싸움인 거지.
We're here because I would have gone insane fighting her, so we're just going insane in here instead.
예술이 뭔지 보여주지.
Dulciana. It's not Dulciana. It's I don't care at the moment, actually. That's what it is. Dulcinea. There we are. Lovely.
환상의 세계로 들어가 보죠.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 그대로 두드려 패.
Great, okay, we can... Does that still... Okay. Evading that doesn't do what I thought it did. I love unbreakable coins. I love
아이씨,
unbreakable
좀
coins. Who doesn't love
그러니까.
unbreakable coins?
야,
Actually, wait, no, hold on,
찰
what?
때까지 앞에서
No,
시선 좀
no, that
끌어줘야겠어.
was... There are 3 enemies with Barb Lasso and flip 1 Barb Lasso. What's that even mean? Huh? Okay. Flip 1 Barb Lasso. 3 minus enemies. As in 3... I don't.
볼 일이
So what do you
있나요?
mean her skill 3 is called? You mean her skill 2? Breakable coins are fun. I strongly disagree. Like, as much as I can disagree with that statement, I do. And Espresso Executor. Yeah, check the
좋은 전략이네요.
wiki.gg
가보죠.
is the one I use personally.
좋은 전략.
Wiki.gg is at least accurate most of the time, I can tell. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Ha.
모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
What a little damage we've dealt.
아이씨, 좀
Look at that.
피곤 사라니까. 야, 저거
This
정신 차릴
is-
때까지 앞에서 시선 좀 끌어줘야겠어.
Oh, I forgot the sarcasm tag, yeah. Ishmael is dead. Rest in peace, Ishmael.
행동을 개시합니다.
Is this possible? Yeah, probably.
목적이 있었지.
Is it possible for I distort? Debatable. What we may have to do is just body sack spam,
반드시 되찾을 거다.
maybe. So the Canto 7 dungeon within the base IDs, and I think that's the solution, yeah. People don't like fandom because it gets griefed constantly.
시계 돌리느라 고생 좀 하겠다, 야.
There's no real way to moderate, particularly, and it's not as impossible. It's not as impossible, but, I mean, 2 of our people are dead already, and 2 more will be dead soon. I think the worst part of it is probably the fact that there's an SP reset beforehand, which just really doesn't. It's not fun. Not helpful. If we were at 45 SP, it would still suck, but it would suck less. Okay, Heathcliff can take damage and I don't care. Who's clashing with this? Faust, okay, great. I think, and I'm really not in the right frame of mind to be giving critique of the game's bosses at this point, but it's... why they just have so much health. They don't need this much health.
반드시 되찾을 거다.
What? Who thought it was a good idea to go, yeah, this boss needs 2,000 health. Yeah, that's a reasonable amount of health to give them. And then let's give them no way for you to lose the health quicker. Because that's fun. Because everybody knows the best solution to your IDs dealing more damage is just to make the bosses have more health. Because if the number gets bigger and you need to balance,
뭐야, 그
just throw more health on.
파이팅이다.
It's not power creep at all. Zero damage to him, 0 fun to fight, 700 rupture stacks, yeah. Like, look at the rupture. Look at the rupture. And this is on an unbreakable coin. So, it doesn't matter what I do. Nothing what I do matters. Because if I clash with them, if I clash with the AoE skill, they're going to explode. And there's nothing I can do. Because unbreakable coins are fun, and mass health pools are fun. Like, we've taken 500 health P off, and 2 of our sinners are dead already. And so, yeah, I guess we're on track. All we have to do is do that again. And just keep doing until the end. And if we keep losing sinners at the same rate, we'll be perfectly fine. Just ignore the 20, like, rupture on everyone. And it'll all be fine. What the Heathcliff versus the amount of these bosses? Batcliff specifically, I'm thinking you mean there, considering that's the Heathcliff that we fought before. 100% I was doing this Canto on a charge team and it's still a crawl, yeah. It just, I don't want to give up on the challenge. I really don't. But also, I don't want to do this. It's not fun. The challenge before. So, the best part of the challenge was when I had to think. When bosses were, what's the best way to deal with this without taking damage? And I think, for as much as I disliked Batcliff, for as much as the tension points were a problem in Batcliff, for as much of a slog Batcliff was, it was a fun fight. And it only took me 40 minutes tops. Who sucks more Silk Current or Rose Hunter? Rose Hunter. From what I've seen so far. If you gave Silk Current the health of Rose Hunter, Silk Current. But it's just... it's not inventive gameplay. I'm not having to think. I'm not going to remember this boss at the end of the day for the mechanics it made me interact with. All I'm going to think is, wow, I've got to clash with the same attacks over and over again for several more hours. I'm not going to be talking to other people about, oh wow, that Rose Hunter boss, that's a cool, innovative use of gameplay. It's just going to be, I hate this. I hate doing this. I hate clicking the same buttons over and over. And it doesn't matter that, like, it's a hard boss, because it's not fun. And bosses should be fun. I'm playing this game because I want to have a fun experience. I'm not playing this game to trudge through the equivalent of a swamp. If I wanted to trudge through the equivalent of a swamp, I could go somewhere. It's Britain, there's plenty of swamps I could trudge through. And to be honest, I think it probably might be more fun at this point to go trudging through a swamp. Because at least then I'd have to think. It's... I genuinely... So, I know I'm using the base IDs here. I know this isn't how you're supposed to play the game, but I don't think these issues come out of nowhere. I don't think... If it was clashing, if clashing was the issue here, then yeah, okay, I'll admit that's my fault because I'm using IDs that can't clash well. Ignoring the fact that they can actually clash well. But it's not that. It's the damage. And it's not... It's the damage and it's unbreakable coins. And the unbreakable coin issues don't go away because if you use something that isn't the base IDs. Like, look, Raishu is about to take 17 damage here and I can do nothing to stop it. And this... it's not fun.
시계 돌리느라 고생 좀 하겠다, 야. 뭐 잘만 싸워보면
It's...
좀 덜 아프게
So,
되돌릴 수도 있지
to
않겠냐?
be a little bit less insane for a moment. They're designed to deal with the best IDs. These bosses exist to deal with the best IDs. The problem is when you start balancing around the best IDs, what's the point in having them? What's the point in having better IDs if you're going to balance the health of things around having better IDs? If you break the coins, the effect should be broken as well. Yeah, absolutely. But it's just... Like, we're getting through it, sure. But I'm not having a fun time. The power creep outcrop the base IDs. I don't think this is a base IDs issue. I felt this to a lesser degree when I was playing with the normal IDs too. With my normal thinking team. I felt like unbreakable coins weren't fun to play with, and it just wasn't enjoyable. And I don't think it's an issue that's come about because I'm using the base IDs. I think it's an issue that's in the game. And I feel like it's a massive contrast between what the design ideology of Limbus Company was before and what it's slowly become. Because before, and I mean PM games in general, before, were interesting mechanics. They never put a bunch of health on something to screw with you. But now it's a bunch of health on things. And the problem with a gameplay loop where every new Canto expects you to have the best ID is that what happens to the new player experience? New players playing this game are going to get... I mean, it's a meme for a reason. In Canto 1, suddenly pulling out 3 red mists and 2 black silences and, like, every single E.G.O under the sun. Because if you're only balancing the game around the very front, and you need to have those good IDs so that people can actually deal with the cutting edge stuff, where does that leave everyone else? I think base IDs ultimately, end of the day, aren't creating issues. They're just making the issues that are already there more obvious. And I think it's sad, because I want to enjoy this game. But I don't know if I can if it keeps going on the way it does. Unbreakable coins exist to kill your sinners. And it's stupid. Just fundamentally. Could you imagine if going into a game, somebody asked, oh, why is this mechanic here? And it's, oh, it's so you take damage. Can I not avoid it? No. No, you can't. Then why does the mechanic exist? Because you have to die. Could you imagine, like, oh, I boot up Elden Ring, and an attack, say, let's say there's a new DLC, and one of the bosses just nukes me. And I go on, I start going, why does that attack exist? And it's so you take damage. Huh? Is it the entire point that you can dodge attacks if you play well? No. It's not fun. I do think if I don't end up completing this challenge, or even if I do end up completing this challenge, I'm going to make a video on it. Purely because I feel like it needs to be talked about more. Because a lot of people, and I'm not blaming people here when I say this, really. But a lot of people, when you start complaining about... Did I not clash that? A lot of people, when you start complaining about unbreakable coins, will go, you just don't like them because it's hard. Which, I mean, that seems like it's sweeping legitimate complaints under the rug, but okay. But the thing is, I don't... The entire game, before this point, has operated on the ideology that you take damage when you deserve to take damage. If you win a clash... And even the game before... If you win a clash, you don't take damage. And that's the fundamental design ideology. And that's just gone now. It doesn't matter if you take damage or not. I mean, it doesn't matter if you play well. It doesn't matter if you win a clash, because you're taking damage when the game wants you to take damage. It's like, to use... I enjoy D&D. Now, I'm a big fan of D&D, and there's a massive problem, though, with some DMs, which is railroading. Which I'm sure everybody will know. It's, well, I'll explain it for people who don't. It's when a DM forces you down a certain storyline because they want you to go through that storyline. It's not because you've done something that'll deserve it, it's because the DM wants that to happen. And it's what feels like's happening here. The DM, in this case Project Moon, wants you to take damage. So it doesn't matter if you play well, because you're going to take damage, because they say you're going to take damage. And I feel like that isn't a good design philosophy for a game like this to have. It shouldn't be that way. Yeah, that's another thing. Most IDs don't function when they get hit. Like, you don't... If you... Like, the very idea of a glass cannon. They exist... They don't take damage, they're covered by tanks, and they deal a lot of damage. Unbreakable AoE doesn't care about a glass cannon. It's going to make the glass cannon take damage whether you like it or not. And it's just... It doesn't even... This is the thing that really annoys me. Tank IDs aren't even built to take damage like they do. Tank ID... Why did they... Tank IDs exist to deal with, like, rough amounts of damage. Like, getting hit once. But Unbreakable statuses... They don't really cope with 99 bleed. Tanks by themselves are basically an archetype that doesn't work in Limbus Company. But... Yeah, I think railroading is a massive thing I dislike. And that might be my background with D&D. But I feel like skillful play should be rewarded in turn. Skillful play isn't being rewarded in turn, man. Like, yeah, the strongest meta units before were good clashes. But now it's just evaders. The strongest thing you can do if you're struggling with a boss, and the advice you'll probably get given if you're struggling with, say, the final boss of this Canto, is just solo it with Dom. Just pick anything, really, any fight in this, and you're going to be told, solo it with Dom. And that doesn't feel like it should be the way it is. You shouldn't, in a team game, have the best strategy be, don't use a team. It makes no sense. Like, just fundamentally, imagine designing... Like, I know Ruiner has an issue with solos too, but it shouldn't... If you have the ability to not put in a mechanic that is going to actively make soloing with evade IDs better, you shouldn't put it in. But they have put it in. And as a result, yeah.
옛날에도 이럴 때가 자주 있었지. 죄다 빗떡이
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like voicing complaints is really going to do anything. But I wish it did, because I want to enjoy this game, and I love the story. But there's just some things that don't work about it and need to be changed before they get much worse. And no, I'm not going to critique the monetization, because it's a gacha. It exists to make money for Project Moon. And so whilst I might not like the dangerous path that things are going on with only allowing you to shard things a week after, I might not like that personally, but I can see the reason why it exists. And at the end of the day, it's not that much of an issue. I can always wait, and I might not enjoy waiting, but I always can wait. But issues with the fundamental gameplay, no amount of waiting is going to get rid of those issues. Yeah. I think the problem with the chain battle system is Project Moon implemented it, and then they ad hoc'd it. They didn't implement it because there was an interesting mechanical reason that they wanted to make possible to deal with. They added chain battles, and then they thought from there, how do we make the player base have to interact with chain battles? Which isn't the way you should go about designing it. But I think one of the major issues with voicing complaints about Project Moon games is the fact that the community is very... There are a lot of people that like shouting things angrily on the Discord, and then there are a lot of people that like pretending any complaint is because people are bad. And there's a lot of... It's easy to ignore every other viewpoint because there are a lot of just people who are complaining for the sake of complaining. And I feel like it's hard to get complaints through without people either saying you're just complaining for the sake of it, or you're complaining because you're bad, or... And it's just... There's no real way for us as a community unified to show it across. I mean, other than content creators getting it across, which I mean is why I'm going to be making a video on... I mean, I do have a video in the works, which I've roughly titled, as a working title, Limbus Company, Unbreakable Coins, and Why Difficulty Isn't Always Fun. And I think I'm going to get all my issues with it across then, but... Yeah. Finally a win. Yeah, we won. But, just to say, was that fun? Was that an enjoyable boss fight? We won. Yeah, we won. Great. But did we enjoy it? Or did we spend the entire time complaining about how it wasn't fun? Yeah. There was no interesting mechanic that I had to engage with there. There was nothing that... I don't come away from that fight feeling like I've learnt something. Because I haven't. All I've learnt is I dislike the systems. Anyway, here is another hell, because it's... remember when I was talking about those hard damage caps? Yeah, here they are. Anger helped me beat them. Yeah. Actually manifesting E.G.O. We're going by canonical rules now. Yeah. I do know... Roughly, I know Vader, I don't know how to pronounce his name, watches my content, and I know he does memes, more so. But I mean, even just one more if a moderately popular content creator talks about it, then it can snowball. But I definitely think the monetization in Limbus Company is amazing. It is definitely the best monetization in a gacha I've seen. But it's the mechanics itself are beginning to go in a direction that aren't good. Is the thing I feel.
반드시 되찾을 거다.
Also, I mean, this is going to be awful because we're just going to have to die here, but... Yet again, this is as pure and refined as you can get of how stupid unbreakable coins are. Because this is, funnily enough, baked into the very dungeon itself, a metaphor for unbreakable coins. Literally force damage. Who thought this was a good idea? Who sat down and was like, yeah, you know what? Let's make it so the player is forced to take damage. Like hard baked in. Let's make them take damage. Why? Why did this have to be a thing? Like, I understand the E.G.O gift does it. But why do we have to suffer that? Yeah. I do think finally this is over shouldn't be the feeling after killing a hard boss, unless... I mean, it just shouldn't, really. And I mean, I felt relief after killing Backcliff, but that's because I was challenging myself. And it wasn't hatred. I disliked doing it. And I was happy it was over. But I wasn't feeling a sense of, just putting it abjectly, nothingness after I beat him. Whereas that is, it's over. It's finally over, and now I can move on with my life. I'm not going to remember it, but it forces the chain battle mechanic to do something, yes. But should a mechanic have to have... So this is, at its finest, this is, hold on, I've forgotten the word. What's it for? Arbitrary difficulty. This is basically the best arbitrary difficulty example you could find, where the chain battle system exists. The game isn't hard enough to make you have to engage with it, so rather than making fights interesting and hard in a good way, it's just, you're going to take damage now, so you have to deal with the chain battle system. And I definitely think it's an issue with how the design works. So I'm going to use an example from another game here. Rainbow Six Siege. I'm going to use this as another example. Which, in of itself, it has its problems as a game. Yes, I'll admit that. But when it started, it was a slow... Oh no, it was a fast-paced shooter. And it was tactical, yeah, but it was, at its core, you could run around shooting people. And the devs didn't like that. So there were update after update, which made it more and more unfun for the original player base. Until the point where it's at its... all those players left. And now, of course, there's different things. There's an entire new player base who likes the slow, methodical gameplay, and I'm one of those people. I picked it up after that. But the problem is that Limbus Company, you can't just pick up from Canto 7. You can't just experience this type of gameplay. You've got to go through all the Cantos before. Which means you've been conditioned to not enjoy taking damage. You've been conditioned to not enjoy losing clashes. And now you're getting to a point of the game where the game forces you to take damage because it feels like it. It just... you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't change the design philosophy of a story game partway through the game. I definitely feel like chain battle, the way chain battles should have worked isn't that you switch out when you die. This is going to be my own personal opinion on it. You should be able to put sinners back and tell them to run away, so to speak. It shouldn't be limited to some IDs, where then they get healed from being on the backline. That being out of combat gives... maybe not healing, because healing's quite good. But there should be some reason, some tangible benefit for switching out your sinners. And that way the chain battle mechanic doesn't become a slog to interact with, you're rewarded for interacting with it, because it means that you can heal your sinners, and using it tactically is going to benefit you.
행동을
Rather
지시합니다.
than you're going to interact with the chain battle system because we worked hard on implementing it, and we're going to force you to interact with it because we're just going to kill your sinners. I don't feel like it's an elegant way to handle the system.
시계 돌리느라 고생 좀 하겠다, 야. 뭐 잘만 싸워보면 좀 덜 아프게 되살릴
So I do
수
realize a
있지
problem
않겠냐?
with this is the fact that I think after this we have to do this again, and most of my sinners are dead.
금방 다녀올게.
So that's going to be a fun experience.
시계 돌리느라 고생 좀 하겠다, 야. 뭐
Yeah, no, where?
잘만 싸워보면 좀 덜 아프게 되살릴 수도 있지 않겠냐?
Yeah, I've ranted for a while now about that, but oh, that's my view on mechanics is that they should be fun. And if you can make difficulty fun, then you should add difficulty. So, for example, Dark Souls. And also, you should clearly indicate what actually you're looking at here.
뭐야, 그
Like,
파이팅이다.
let me rephrase that. When you're getting into a game, there should be some sort of core what's being laid out for you. And then the mechanics should iterate on that to make that experience more fun for the players who have signed up for that experience. So this is, not only is it not fun, it's sweeping out the rug from people, it's changing the design philosophy midway. I don't think that you should be able to revive from the champ battle mechanic, because you could just stall out, but that was kind of fun. Yeah. I do feel that regardless of my opinions at the end of the day, regardless of anybody's opinions really, I feel like there should be more space for people to discuss them.
모든
I feel like a lot of the time,
파우스트가 알아요.
genuine criticism that comes from a place of love, really, or a place of wanting to love the game,
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지.
gets drowned out by people going, you must hold that opinion because XYZ.
아이씨,
Rather than going,
사라니까.
oh, I see why you hold that opinion, and that's a bad thing for
앞에서
these
시선 좀
reasons.
끌어줘야겠어.
Even if they're unfounded complaints, which quite often they're not, people... A lot of the time, I would say people don't really complain for no reason. There are obviously some reasons, like
여행은
if people are
목적이 있었지.
trying to brute force something and complain that they can't just brute force it, that's okay. You probably shouldn't be complaining about that, but even if then, people shouldn't go, oh, you're only doing that because of this. They should go, oh, you're doing that because of this, here's how we can fix that. Like, did you know
기다려.
you can use other IDs in the base IDs?
아이씨, 좀 피하면 사라니까.
It shouldn't be reasonable complaints shouldn't be drowned out,
시선 좀 끌어줘야겠어.
because this is something I really dislike. People having an experience of something, then assuming that everybody else must be having the same experience as them. And I find it really annoying when somebody calls a boss easy because they found it easy. And then when you go, oh, I found that boss really hard because these reasons, or even just, I found that boss really hard, they'll go, really? It's an easy boss. Why did you struggle with it? Hello, welcome to me ranting.
시계 돌리느라
It's
고생 좀
been,
하겠다.
how long has this stream been going? 3 hours. You'll have to excuse me. Sleep delirium is hitting me.
되살릴 수도 있지 않겠냐?
Sleep delirium, that's not the word. Eh. But yeah, I feel like people should be more open to considering that a boss can be hard
파우스트가 알아요.
regardless of your experience with it. For example, Ricardo. Case in point, Ricardo is a hard boss. And I'm aware of the cheese. I'm aware of how easily I beat him with the base IDs. But just because you can beat a boss easily, or just because you can cheese a boss, or just because you can do something to make a boss easy, or just because it was easy for you, doesn't make a boss easy. And I recognize that with Spice Bush too. I personally didn't struggle with Spice Bush, because I think I had a decently good team at the time. But I can recognize and admit the fairly reasonable complaints from some people, or not even complaints, just people saying that's hard. Because yeah, it was hard. It was a hard boss, definitely. If you weren't aware of how Bloom, if you weren't aware of how blooming works, then yeah, it's very hard. And saying just read, that's another thing. I know it's a joke most of the time, but I really dislike that. You shouldn't say just read to somebody, because I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, somebody will have that's not the word, will have read. Somebody will have gone, how do I beat this thing? They will have looked into strategies, they will have done a lot of different things before they then decide to immediately go to talking about it. Because if it is only a problem of laziness, why would they go online and complain about it? And not just complain about it, why would they go online and ask for help if they're lazy? If it is an issue of not reading because they're too lazy, why would they go ask for help? Still, I personally, Ricardo took me, I think, a week my first time round. And the reason it took me a week my first time round is because I was running a full Slash team. And not only that, I was running the full, like, Blade Lineage team, which are all very weak to blunt. And I found it really hard because all my people kept dying. And thankfully for me, when I talked about it, people agreed with me, and, well, even if they didn't agree with me that it was a hard boss, because they themselves didn't really have the issues with it, they could at least go, well, here's what you want to do to try and get past that. But I've seen people go, oh, Ricardo is hard nowadays, especially in the Project Moon Discord, and people will go, you're just bad, or why are you struggling? Just cheese him. And I think that this is another thing with my fundamental views on things. If you have to resort to cheesing a boss because it's that bad, that's a problem. You shouldn't need the patch fix of having to cheese a boss because it's hard to deal with. There's a massive problem there. That if you have to resolve something by cheesing it, why? But Ricardo isn't a case of that. Ricardo's case of why you would have to cheese it is because, like, it's... What the... So, yeah, Get good is, sadly, a common response. Is everybody going to be dead? Am I going to have nobody left for Camille? Like, I think I might have to go back to the checkpoint here purely because too many of my sinners have died, because they just keep taking damage outside of my control.
거의 칼로 물베기 아니냐? 아니, 베어지지 않는 정도는 아니긴 한데.
Why do they not take damage? Huh? Hold on. What's the... Oh. Okay. So I need my Faust to not have melted. Good to know. But yeah. I've lost my train of thought several times over at this point, but... I think difficulty... To sum up my position, I think difficulty can be good if it's fun. And now, sure, saying that, how do you make difficulty fun? Okay, fair point, but it should be enjoyable to deal with a hard mechanic. It shouldn't be tedious. But... yeah. Or, this is another thing. I dislike. I'm here we go, back on the train. Ride never stops. I dislike people who say if you beat XYZ a certain way, you're not doing it legitimately. It's stuff like to bring up Elden Ring again. It's people saying, "Oh, you beat Elden Ring with Mimic Tier? Oh, you must be you're not good at games. You're not good at video games. Try to beat it legitimately next time." If somebody wants to play a game a certain way because it works for them or because they just find it more enjoyable than playing it normally, you shouldn't just start insulting them because of it. But, yeah. Sinners should clash over hitting guards and evades. I mean, if I could control what they were doing, it'd be good. I can't control what they're doing, sadly, because this is a non-focused. But,
행동을 개시합니다.
yeah. Difficulty is good if it allows for skill expression.
재밌는 순간이에요.
The point at which difficulty becomes arbitrary is no longer good.
모든
As soon as a boss reaches the point at which it's become difficult because it has to be difficult rather than it's become difficult so you can show off skill and have fun. But is this challenge on a boss we can't use based on for the final battle? Yeah, I've got workarounds planned. John Rosefellas, good Don IDs, couldn't use them. Yeah, that's fair. I think it is.
행동을
Say,
개시합니다.
okay, this is another thing that I feel a lot of people don't talk about as much as they should do when it comes to the difficulty of this Canto. It's the fact that before this Canto, you're expected to maybe have at most 7 max leveled good IDs. I mean, the game only ever forces you to have 6. And then randomly, if you're supposed to be dying as much as the game wants you to, you need a full team of 12. There's no way around it at that point. Which is really not good when you consider the fact that leveling up in this game is pain. It's not fun. I don't think I've met a single person that enjoys doing Luxcavations. And I don't mean like once or twice. I mean trying to do all the Luxcavations necessary to level somebody to level 50. But yeah. One moment.
그래, 결국 마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까. 잘 들어. 아픈 거 생각하지 말고 저 새끼 죽은
Right,
다음만
that wasn't a... That was me muting myself. My mic didn't unplug itself. That was purposeful. But... Dongbaek wants you to bring 7 to... Yeah, that's fair. Only recently made Lux is tolerable. I think... Luxes... They need to do more. Luxes would be so much better if either it cost less to level up IDs, or you got more. If you didn't have to sink a full 80 in to get somebody up. Wait, this isn't... We need... Yeah, okay. I think I've run out of time at this point. I have genuinely run out of time, which is sad, but we can go back and do this more tomorrow, I guess. I'll be back tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow. But yeah. I hope you all have a good evening. And well, I'm saying evening because it's evening for me. I hope you all have a good morning, evening, lunchtime, day, whatever it is for you all. And yeah, join the Discord if you want to talk more about balancing, because I will definitely be on later rambling there. But yeah,